The college basketball experience preview and picks episode 4, November 4th, opening night on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up, but when you do sign up with that promo code TCE SGPN, you get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. Opening day, opening night. Yes, November 4th, preview and picks. Good God, it's good to be back. It's good to get on over to YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience, staring at these just ridiculous faces. No, I'm joking. These beautiful faces, because it's opening night. You know what it means for college basketball, folks. If you are just checking it out for the first time, we cover every game, and we've been doing this for years. So hop on over there, sportsgamblingpodcast.com also, and then youtube.com/the college experience, wherever podcasts can be found. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swiggin, Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
We're home, baby. We're home. They say home is where the heart is. I don't know if you guys know that. And I feel it. I've always wondered what the hell that quote meant until today. All right. Today, it all made sense. And that's why I'm 3 hours late. All right. Because I was staring into the sun. I had my my Macho Man glasses on, staring out in front of a lake. Just
in your defense, we were waiting on like 60 game lines to come out. So
that too, had to make a few phone calls, saying, "Give me that Mississippi Valley State line." All right, because it's not out there. You're ducking me. You're ducking me, Vegas. I am joined by my co-host. It is great to be back in the mix every single night. We will be bringing you action for college hoops. He is the host of the Big 12 Experience. He is the host of the Ride and Rush Show, and he's been him and this next guy have been kind of the ones holding it down all summer. You've checked out the coaching interviews. If you haven't, go back. It's never too late. Get back over there. But give it up for former video coordinator for Hall of Fame coach Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Money Line Mac. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good, man. It's like Christmas Eve. College basketball's back. Look at the chat. The chat is on fire.
Rob Donaldson leaving something under the tree for Mac on Christmas Eve, too.
Cheers,
Shout
everybody.
out to Rob.
We are back.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
I'm at my mother's house.
What's that?
This is a Hams beer, which I would love to know how long this has been in my mother's fridge. My mother doesn't drink, so this might be bitter beer face here. Remember those commercials? All right, look, we are also joined by third man in the booth. wearing some new glasses there. He just thinks he's going to slide that in, right? He is the host of the College Baseball Experience, but he's also the heartbeat, the man behind the scenes of the College Football Experience, the College Basketball Experience right here. Give it up for the great LeBaron driving Noah Bieniek. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Let's have some fun. Let's pick some games. 112 games that we have lines for. 117 D1 versus D1 games. By far, I think the most we're gonna have all season in one day. I'm just gonna come out and we're gonna get this thing out there in the open. First show, we're not gonna mention it again. On this show, typically when we're picking games, we're not going deep into matchups, analysis, X's and O's, because quite frankly, we're picking 117 games in this show. If we were gonna do that for every single game, this thing would be 5 hours. As it is, it's 2 hours long. So that's
what you've never done a 5 hour one?
That's not really our forte on the College Experience. We're quick hitters on most of the games, and for some of the games that we're excited about, we're getting into it. And also another thing that I'm going to mention for basketball, I have a model where I tend to fade and tail Ken Palm. It's called the cocktail napkin. Colby named it pretty negatively, and then it caught on last year. Without explaining it, there's a video on it, but that is where I'm saying, I would make this line. Colby, back to you. Let's do this thing. Let's pick some games.
Yes, I mean, look, if you first off, no, you've never done a 5 hour show.
Yes, I have.
Guess you guys must have missed the early years where me and Patty C did mushrooms and picked college basketball games.
Oh, it wasn't early years. We had Troy doing mushrooms with us on Big 12 Saturday nights last year that were going 4 hours until 6 a.m.
It felt like 6 hours. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Look, on other nights you might hear us break down the games a little more, but on a night like tonight where there's a trillion games,
yeah.
It will be less analysis, and I love reading the occasional YouTube comment. It's like these guys are just drinking, picking games. Well, yeah, no shit.
Exactly.
All right. It's amazing how many times I read that. Like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? All right, let's get into this mess. But before we get into this mess, I want to let the good people know that, college basketball is back. And if you haven't already subscribed to the College Basketball Experience for their daily picks podcast, breaking it all down each and every night of the season, all the way till we crown a champion, get on over there. Please subscribe. Also, hit that like and subscribe button right now on YouTube. I see all you maniacs out there. Hit that like and subscribe button. And once again, thanks for always tuning into the College Basketball Experience. If you can head over to Spotify also and give us a 5-star rating. We just learned that algorithm really if you do the 5-star thing, we can kind of rig the system. And I'm big into rigging the systems. Hey, November 5th right around the corner. We might have some more rigging going on November 5th. And I'm not talking college basketball. I'm talking something else. There's
only like 7 basketball games on November 5th to rig. So, yeah.
Yeah. What flag on the play for doing that. All right. It's bad enough you got to watch all these games with those damn political ads. But
we'll be here previewing the college football slate, though.
That's true. We will check out the College Football Experience as well. And remember, only you can prevent corporate gambling from taking over, folks. All right. I got slides Colby, and everything.
Our right asks one quick thing, 2 quick things, actually. Our right asks, are you actually home yet?
Well, I'm in my mother's house that I never lived in. So it feels like home, but it's not home. I don't know. You figure it out.
Right.
But
and then shout out to Coke Booger
when you moved west certain years ago. That was the beer from when you left the state of North Carolina years ago.
I mean, no. I mean, well, I lived in Virginia and DC and Maryland, so it'd have to be that would be awesome. It's like Indiana Jones' Crystal Skull. She just protects the beer, going all the way, and it ends up extremely shitty like that movie.
And shout out to Coke Burger for the $50. But yeah, let's jump into some picks.
And shout out to all the real Coke boogers out there. So we're covering up this thing here, huh? Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. YouTube.com/the College Experience. He's a fucking wizard over here.
Yep,
He's a wizard.
We were working on some stuff in the off season.
All right. Well, let's work on going to Sioux Falls, the Pentagon, folks. If you have not caught a game here, even on your television, I've never been to the stadium, but I've watched a lot on TV, and it's glorious. It looks like the Boston Garden. It's just the old school Boston Garden, the one with no air conditioning. It was fantastic, right? And I'm hoping that this stadium has no air conditioning as well, because the Charleston Cougars, who made the big dance a season ago, but Pat Kelsey, he's gone. He's now at Louisville. But his old boss, Chris Mack, comes in, and they're taking on the Salukis, who Scott Nagy's the new head coach there. So we got a new head coaching fest going on at the Pentagon. And I'm trying to see Charleston -2 as I try to look at the slide that I made for that Colby line. Charleston's -2. The over-under's at 147.
Got to put these lines a little bit higher on the slides next time.
I know, it's okay. I could just use this thing it's tough with the first slate because they hold the line so long. But
I know,
guys, let's just start off with a little lock here.
Aren't we like it's a standalone game, right? Don't we have to?
Yeah, you have to bet this.
Yes, that's rules, by the way. And if you don't abide by those rules, folks, then we might not be there to watch your gambling. But we will label you a clown. All right. So Charleston -2 lock. Let's start things off the right way with these Cougs. Could it be a Saluki crowd? Maybe. I don't know, but I have my doubts. Cougs. They're running the same shit. Obviously, like, continuity is going to pay off with the coaching front here. That's the difference. I like the Salukis hire of Nagy. I just think it's going to take a little bit more time than Mac walking in there. Speaking of Mac, what are you doing here at Sioux Falls?
Yeah, so you mentioned it. It's a fascinating matchup because you got Nagy and Chris Mack both in their first games. Nagy, though, going back to South Dakota, where he was the head coach of the Jackrabbits. Let's battle to start the year. Give me the Salukis. Salukis outright, baby. Wrong team favor. Get this Charleston shit out of here. Come on, Salukis.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
We are a battle at the Pentagon. Pick Dundee riding with the Cougs. Moneyline Max saying, don't let the dogs get hot with the Salukis and that fire-ass logo. I will say that. Salukis win the logo battle. Noah Bieniek, what are you doing here in Sioux Falls?
I'm with Mac, Colby. Ooh. I'm going to go against Chris Mack, who is quite literally stepping on the sideline for the first time in a couple of years. He's going to shake off the rust a little bit. It's a brand new roster for him, just like it is at Southern Illinois for Scott Nagy. But I'm going to go with Nagy, who's been in the game just a little bit more recently on the sidelines coaching. So I'm going to take the points, and I actually think they win the game outright too. I'm with Mac here.
This is gonna be a fun tomorrow night when I'm talking shit to you fools. All right, let's jump on over to the next game. We're staying in Sioux Falls. The Broncos of Santa Clara. Herb Sendek used to be his career went south when he became the head coach of the Pussy Pack of NC State, and it's been terrible ever since. But hey, they're always kind of decent. They just never make the NCAA tournament because there was BYU in there, Gonzaga, and you had St. Mary's and San Francisco. Well, they're taking on the Billikens of St. Louis. And my guy, Salt Frazier, who transfers in from Indiana State. This is a fun matchup. I got to be honest. I was circling my favorite games of the day. This one's pretty high up there. And I can't fade Salt Frazier. All right. I will take these Billikens -1.5. And this is a standalone as well. Please, I welcome another battle, folks. Let's see. But lock up these Billikens with that, what is it? Like that Shrek ass logo they got. It's going to pay me like Shrek. You ever looked into the amount of money they made for 2 days of voices? Like Cameron Diaz made like $25 million. For 2 days worth of work. It's like, what the hell are we doing with our lives? All right. Well, I'm going to make $25,000 tomorrow with these plays. Mac, what are you doing here at Sioux Falls at the Pentagon Part 2?
Back-to-back battles, baby. Give me the Bronx. They're older, more experience. St. Louis is a sexy pick because they got Robbie Avila. But Santa Clara's better. Santa Clara pulls away late. Let's go. Bronx, lock battle again.
Let me tell you something. St. Louis, murder capital of the U.S., they're going to fit more into the Sioux Falls environment, whereas like Northern California with that wine and cheese, you go to Sioux Falls, there's going to be a lot of questions. All right. Herb Sendek might not be able to answer all of those, but Bieniek, you want to get on this battle?
Yeah, I'm going to get into this battle too. It's a standalone game. I'm going to go with St. Louis. I like both of these teams. I'm really high on Santa Clara, but I think the values with St. Louis catching points here. Isaiah Swope, not only just Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Milk Chamberlain, but Swope, the point guard as well, comes in from Indiana State, along with Gibson Jimerson, who played AAU ball with Robbie Avila. So I really like St. Louis as well, and I think they're going to play really up-tempo. I don't know if Santa Clara is really going to be able to contain that. So give me the Billikens in this one.
We're doing battle again. All right, this is like Rocky 5 or 6. You didn't think they'd do it again, but they did. All right, and I love these matchups. Look, I don't normally like a lot of neutral site games, but if you choose a fire location like the Cotton Bowl in college football, or the Pentagon, or Madison Square Garden, I back off that a little bit, or Maui. I back off as long as Chaminade's in there, though. If Chaminade's not in Maui, fuck you. All right. Anyway, let's continue on. Bieniek, the floor is yours. The Denver Pioneers, your boys, are heading to the farm
this year.
Are heading to the farm to take on Kyle Smith and the Stanford Cardinal. Stanford's laying 17.5. This I can't do this. Game one. Give me these Denver Pioneers here plus the points. Can't say it's a lock by any means. This is not standalone, right?
No,
is this standalone?
No.
Yeah.
It's sandwiched in between Santa Clara, St. Louis, and then Harvard. Marist is tipping off right after it too.
Yeah, I'll just take Denver. No lock here. Denver's been so bad over the years, but Bieniek caught a little fire with them. Mac, what are you doing here?
2 years ago, for the record.
They're so bad that even Noah's out on them this year. Yeah. I was looking at it. They have like nobody back from their team that wasn't even good last year. I think I'm going to lay it with Stanford, actually. Kyle Smith, I like the hire, but I'm not betting this one. Thank God this isn't a standalone.
Am I crazy, Mac? Over the past couple of years, haven't the Dogs hit game one against Stanford? Because didn't we cash on who was it? Like Pacific? I think it was a horrible Pacific team.
The cocktail napkin loves some gigantic numbers on the Dogs. I'll just say that. I'm just saying last year there was plenty of high spreads. We were catching points with that.
Don't you dare take Mississippi Valley State later in the show.
I think I bet them last year against Oklahoma.
So I don't even need to ask you. You're just backing your boys, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Pioneers for anybody that can see the Pioneers flag from behind me here. And for the record, this is a cocktail napkin game. Stanford is a fade this season based on, Kyle Smith coming in. That's also a brand new roster. The talent really isn't there for the Cardinal, but I can't back Denver this early. That roster is so bad. So let's move along. I have Denver catching a lot of points, but no way I'm betting this.
Yeah. Let's move along to the Crusaders of Valparaiso. Before they became a beacon of shit, they are in some town in Ohio I've never heard of.
Xenia.
At the John Wooden family field house. And I believe there's a couple games going on here. Taking on the Flamin' Libs. Interesting. The Libs, I feel like traditionally have kind of been a very good team, but yet they're like UVA junior. They're UVA junior without the Tiki Tour. Well, I don't know. Anyway, Liberty's laying 9. I struggled with this game. I gotta be honest. This was the first one that I go, I'm gonna take the Flaming Libs -9, but they only score like 44 points a game, so it's tough to lay 9 with the Flaming Libs here. But I'm gonna do it just because Valpo's been on my shit list for a while, as you well know, and it just feels better to back the Flaming Libs here in this situation. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, this is. I thought this was random too. We have FAU and Indiana State right after this, both in Ohio. So I don't know what the event is here. I'm going to lay it with Liberty. I think that they're going to bounce back nicely this year. I thought that was a disappointing first year in Conference USA. I think they bounced back in a big way. I don't think Valpo is good at all. Let's lock it up. Let's go. Let's double-digit win for the Libs. Let's go.
All right, I'm joining you. It feels good to get out there and wager a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's lock it up because Valpo's been on the shit list for a while. It feels good to agree on something. I see Mike in the chat saying the worst tornado ever hit this town back in the 1970s. Too soon, Mike. Too soon. Yeah. Bieniek, you riding with the Flaming Libs as well?
Not quite gonna bet it. This is something else that I didn't mention at the top of the show. Mac and Colby can maybe touch on how their betting style is. They're way more voluminous than I am, but I tend to pick a little bit more spots than more spots that I feel really, really confident in compared to these guys compared to to bet the board and don't like the variance.
Did he say voluminous? Is that a D3
yeah,
school?
Volume. It's volume. Voluminous.
Bolts over there.
So yeah, I was about to say.
I like Liberty.
I don't got brain man cold, but they're counting down 7-6-5.
I think this is a little too much to lay.
What the fuck is that?
I already did. I think it's a little too much points to lay in game one on a neutral court. Liberty, I will say, last year they were good in non-conference. They struggled in Conference USA, especially on the road. 1-7 in all those really good home environments. But neutral site, different sight lines. I'm not quite gonna jump on the Liberty train here.
It's okay. We'll make that money for you, buddy. What did we get you? We got you that prostitute in Vegas last year. We'll do something for you this year. Let's jump on over to a classic one here. Marist, Rick Smith's, the Duncan Dutchman's alma mater. They're heading to Cambridge to take on Harvard. Harvard's laying 4.5. I'll lay it. I feel like Harvard's got a more talented roster, better coach. Stinks a little bit to me. Thought it might be more like 6.5, 7. Mac, am I a fool?
I'm going to lay it with Harvard too. Both teams are really young, so that is a kind of knock on both these teams. Probably just sit out from betting it, but I'll lay it with Harvard.
Yeah. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Harvard does lose Malik Mack, who was a huge star for them last season. Chisholm Akpara, who also put up 16 points per game, is gone for Harvard. Last year, I was not very high on the outlook for their team. And when Mack had mono and missed, I think, 10 games, they were not good without him. So Harvard's a team that I really want to see early on because they are young. And last year with Mack's breakout, I wasn't really taking that into account, but they turned out to be pretty good. Without him, like I said, they weren't as great. So I'm actually on Marist. I think the defense might be able to slow the pace down in this game a little bit, keep this within a possession. So let's go with Marist. They might not win it, but I think they'll cover.
All right, folks, look, before we get to the next game, I want to let you know that we're brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, college basketball, CFL, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and everything else. Boost Uber is upon us, which means you're getting a spooky amount of profit boost and much, much more. You can now use specials and boost on all flex entries as well. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Bieniek, have they dropped anything for tomorrow yet? I know they do that in the wee hours over at Underdog Fantasy.
Shit, I mean, that was not on my mind today.
Okay, I mean, you can check it maybe in a second while I read the rest of this? Can you load that up and see if we can find something there? They probably look. A lot of times they add it late, so it might not be there right now. But
they have plenty of projections out. They were all out there when you were doing your SGP show with them too.
That's right. Look, so you can find an edge here that you simply will not have anywhere else as far as player props, higher or lowers on stat projections. It is really fantastic. Get on over to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. Right, Ryan Nebhard over 10.5 points. How about that?
I was going to take you to that same game, but I like something a little bit better. EK higher than 7.5 rebounds. Baylor's really undersized in the front court. If Norshad Amir's on the floor, he's 6'7". If the other, the 5-man there for Baylor is on the floor, he hasn't played Big 12 D1 college basketball at this rate. Josh Ojinwana, who played 15.5 minutes last season, averaged 3.5 rebounds. I think EK is going to be able to eat on the glass in this matchup. So,
all right, there we go. That's part of what we're talking about. You know, like they just offer stuff that you really can't find elsewhere. So, folks, get on over there and check it out. Promo code TCE SGPN as well. All right, we are back. We just talked Marist and Harvard. As now we switch over to fucking Sacred Heart is heading to Philadelphia to take on Temple. Temple fresh off a great gambling situation scandal last season ago. Incredible. That made me an even bigger Temple fan. Temple's laying 14.5 against fucking Sacred Heart. I mean, Sacred Heart, give me the points. I don't feel great about fucking Sacred Heart, but I do think 14.5. It's just a little big. Give me fucking Sacred Heart plus the points. No wager. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm gonna lay it with Temple. I think Temple found something in the second half of the year. Or did the last month of the year when they got through that gambling shit that they were doing. Adam Fisher headed into year number 2. I think Sacred Heart's probably a bottom 30 team in college basketball. So give me a Temple, lay it.
Bieniek?
I'm right there with Mac here. I think Temple is a good look. There's a lot of experience here. There's a really good backcourt. Lynn Grew, the third, returns from last season, but also Jamal Mashburn transfers in from New Mexico. Both of those guys are seniors, along with Matteo Piccarelli, who's in the backcourt. Those three guards are some of the best guards on one roster that you're going to find in the American this season. And overall,
Piccarelli on Temple is just a perfect. What a recruit.
And overall, there's about 7 upperclassmen in this rotation for Temple. Sacred Heart's just not a team that I would be rushing to the counter to play. So give me Temple.
Well, I mean, with that mascot there, it's like Davy Crockett, right? But he's a fire crotch. They got a fire crotch, Davy Crockett.
This will be my first reference of many. Check the picks page. I may end up betting Temple, man. They're going to drill. Sacred Heart's terrible.
I mean, Temple was not great. I do like some of those additions, but
in our defense,
they were a juggernaut.
But that's over now. I mean, like, you think you're just gonna be able to pick up that momentum like 5 months later?
In our defense, we did find about 35 of these lines 20 minutes ago. So it's like we haven't bet these games ourselves yet. A lot of them. So give us a little bit more time, Mac wise.
Look at Davy Crockett's nose. They're not losing by more than 14 points. All right, let's continue on this journey. This logo is just fucking unbelievable.
Oh, incredible.
Texas A&M Corpus Christi is surfing on in. All right. Utah, give me 2 of those as they head into West Lafayette to take on these Boilermakers. Obviously, Bieniek, him and Matt Painter went away to Bora Bora after the season. Had a great trip. Don't even want to ask what happened. Purdue's laying 21.5. Phoenix Darlings. Okay, this is where I'll lay the points. I love Corpus Christi historically. I've made a lot of money off of Corpus Christi over, I think it was 2 years ago. Maybe 3. It's just, this place gets lit. They're not prepared for it. Painter, I think they lost guys. No, I'm not panicked. All right. Lay the number. Mac, what are you doing here?
I think I'll lay it with Purdue as well. I think, yes, Zach Edey was great. Don't get me wrong. They're going to miss him, but Purdue was still rolling as a program before Zach Edey. So I think Braden Smith in that backcourt, they play well here on opening night. I'll lay it with Purdue.
Bieniek?
The cocktail napkin here likes Corpus Christi, but I'm not going to play it because going into Mackey is a hell of an environment on opening night. I really like Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, TKR coming back for this Purdue team. I think they're going to pick up similarly where they left off last season. Of course, no Zach Edey, but I think I'm going to go with taking the points with Corpus Christi. No bet, though.
Has anybody ever surfed in Texas?
The Gulf? Yes.
Good question.
I know they have water. I'm just saying, is it known for the surf?
I don't know if it's known for the surf, but
if you've surfed in Texas, honor code here.
You can wake it. Now, I'm sure, I don't know if that's wake or not, like wakeboarding, but that's a completely different thing.
Bieniek trying to sound like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. You can wake it. I've waked it down there in Corpus Christi.
If you hold onto a rope on a boat and you're on a board behind the boat, you can 100% wakeboard that.
You can wake it. All right. This guy's 100%. Fucking,
where'd you get those glasses from?
This guy's in like Dearborn, Michigan, telling you about surfing. What the fuck am I listening to right now?
You can 100% wake off a pontoon boat right in front of you.
He's on fire tonight.
Yeah, pontoon doesn't have speed. What are you talking about? I got shit hammered on the Tennessee River in a pontoon boat right before a Tennessee football game. All right. Let me tell you, there was no one waking behind us. All right. Unless maybe Patty C fell in the water. All right. Anyone ever waked in Texas? Let us know. All right. Moving along. This game's awesome.
Yeah.
This game is fantastic. Going back to the Pentagon. It's a far trip from Brookings to Sioux Falls, they say. Oh, Yolanda made that trip. Never heard from her again. Oh, look at Nicholas Greenwell in there giving us $20. I live in Corpus. It's called windsurfing, and it's awesome. All right. That's not waking though. All right. But no, I appreciate you, Nicholas. Appreciate the kickbacks as well. So Will Wade, hopefully you checked out him and Mac on this very show. I was just in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Let me tell you, it's fantastic. I was staying at some Golden Nugget Casino. It was fantastic. And there's a buzz around town. All right. I was talking to my blackjack dealer.
As there should be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And some of the guys they brought in with, some of the guys returning, and then some of the guys they brought in, I mean, they have me convinced they could pull a fucking UNLV here in 90, despite heading in. This is obviously going to be the game where all the crowd shows up, because what else is there to do in South Dakota, right? You got to go support your guys. McNeese is laying 6. I'm not falling for this Pentagon nonsense. All right. I'm locking up McNeese -6. I think they're going to win by 20. Staples. Your Staples are sharp, South Dakota State. I've watched you for years. Remember old Mike Dahm? Remember him? They're not going to be sharp enough. Staples just can't get it done there at the Pentagon, despite it making a lot of sense there. Mac, what are you doing?
Yeah, so this is our first of many that will happen where we had both these coaches on. We had Eric Henderson on as well from the Jackrabbits. His group is young, and I think this is more a reputation South Dakota State line. It's going to take them a minute. They'll be really good come January and February in the Summit. McNeese, on the other hand, is ready to rock and roll right now. I'm with you. I'll lay with McNeese, and I'll lock it up. How about them? Cowboys.
Do we have our first triple lock of the season, Bieniek?
100%. I was actually telling you guys like a month ago that this game wouldn't be as good as it's being held up to standards wise, because McNeese is going to win this thing by double digits. You look at the South Dakota roster. Max said it even better than I could probably say it. It's really young and experienced, whereas McNeese, they're all juniors and seniors. You got all these high majors transferring in. Quadir Copeland coming in from Syracuse, Brandon Murray from Ole Miss, Sincere Parker from St. Louis might be a dog on this team. They also returned Christian Shoemate from last year. Yes, sure, there's a lot of new pieces here for McNeese State, but a lot of these guys are buying into just wanting to win at McNeese State, or else they wouldn't transfer in to a low major in the Southland Conference. Give me McNeese. They run away with this thing. Why else would you take a game in South Dakota against South Dakota State? McNeese knows that they're going to go in and win this thing by double digits. Play that music.
Triple lock. Wake it in. Wake it in. Triple lock here with McNeese at the Pentagon.
Hey, Colby, I think we should advise everybody to take the 6 right now, because I think this thing will go up to 8 or 9.
Yes.
Maybe even 10.
I concur, Doctor. And yeah, get on over there, get that action. This might be, a lot of times at the end of the 4-hour podcast that we normally do, they ask, what's your favorite play? And there's like, we talk about 150 games. So it's like, this one though is at the top of my list. I'll say it's right there as one of the best plays you can do. So
Elliot Money in the chat saying -6.5 on DraftKings right now. Shout out to our sponsor, BetUS. They had 112 games listed for today's slate, by far the most. We had checked all over the place for all these lines. -6 was on BetUS like a half hour ago. So
yes,
I would highly recommend you guys sign up with our link, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Use promo code SGPN. Get in there. 112 games to jump on early. Let's go.
I'll finish this up. We are brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best in the business. That is BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency, get lightning fast payouts. Yeah, we love McNeese. Jump on it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props. You can build your own copy. Or I mean, you could copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or you can build your own model. That's what I like to do. I select that. I select what I like. It builds around that. Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop. It also has a slew of stats, research, and trend analysis to give you even more betting insight. And Rhythm just launched their college basketball models. So get on over there. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
Hey, real quick too. Almost 400 you guys live watching this on YouTube. Almost midnight Eastern time. Drop a like, hit subscribe. We just crossed 12,000. Next goal. Let's do 15K.
There we go. Next, we got
How about these logos?
Yes, the Fordham Rams.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Is that North Carolina's Ram on Fordham's logo?
Well, I think they back in the 1950s, everything they just couldn't really figure out logos, so they just ran with everything. NC State, Nevada, New Mexico.
Just back.
Yeah, they just threw it up. There was zero originality. You can tell. I could do a seminar on the history of America, and there's a lot I could say here, but I know we have 74. What did Joe Biden say? 100 bajillion games left. Fordham. I like this though. You get the Bronx against Queens. All right. Great debates on who's the best MCs from each borough there. But Fordham is catching 18.5 points. The over under at 145.5. I mean, guys, who the fuck are we kidding here?
You're gonna lay this one?
You're goddamn right I am.
It's a big ass number.
Rick Pitino, me and Rick, we go way back. All right. Since the time I got kicked out of the Coliseum there in Greenville at a Louisville ECU game for being highly intoxicated and screaming obscenities right in his ear when he was the head coach of Louisville. So, but I've been a fan ever since then because I think he told me to go fuck myself, which I can appreciate. So I will lay the 18.5 with the Red Storm. I really like what they did in the portal. So, and I could be talked into a lock here. Oh boy. It sounds like Moneyline Mac is gonna go against me here.
Listen, I got St. John's in my Final Four, but I like backing Patino in February and March, not November. Fordham's old, man, and they bring back a lot, and it's a little brother angle. Give me Fordham, lock it up. Too many points.
Whoa, he's locking it
up.
up.
Might have Patino opening night.
Oh, buddy.
Final Four, buddy.
Wow. Moneyline Mac ramming it. Bieniek. He's locking it. I'm tempted to battle, but I just feel like it is a big number.
The cocktail napkin likes this quite a bit. It would list St. John's as a 21-point favorite, but I have some hesitancy here. It's a brand new backcourt. Davon Smith transfers in from Utah. Kadari Richmond transfers in from Seton Hall. I think those two pieces are going to fit Patino like a glove. However, I also saw Patino with a bunch of transfers last year lose to Michigan in the Garden, the third game of the year, and Michigan was dog shit. So I think Fordham might be able to keep this one in within reason. So I'm not going to lock it, but I'm going to take the Red Storm. The Johnny.
I just have a feeling if there's a Red Storm, you might hear that. All right.
They're trying to peer pressure you in the chat. They want you to take the Johnnies.
It's okay. I normally
There's
do enjoy
117 games. We'll
caving into peer
play
pressure, but not right now. Not right now. Plenty of times I've caved into peer pressure, though. That one time I jumped off that bridge. Bucknell, Delaware. Look at this fire-ass logo here. This blue hen stuffing at home. Delaware's laying 3.5 against the Bison of Bucknell. Mac, what am I missing here? I feel like we should be locking up these blue hens.
I'm on Bucknell.
Why?
Bucknell was hot down the stretch. They finished second, and they bring back everybody.
Buddy, the stretch is over. It's a new season.
Yeah, but who's Delaware to be laying points against Bucknell?
Buddy, with a logo like this, you can go far in life. All right?
It has nothing to do with the game tomorrow.
It does for me, because I'll fucking battle you. You want to lock this up?
Yes, give me Bucknell.
Let's go. Get your bullshit Bison out of here. All right.
Delaware shit out of here.
What the fuck did I do wrong, Tom?
We are battling here as soon as I can find this
we got a problem.
This song.
We got a problem.
It's somewhere here. Here we go. We got a battle in Newark. You don't just walk into the hen's nest, all right, and start pushing these blue hens around. Bieniek.
I'm going to go with Delaware too. Cocktail Napkin likes the Blue Hens here as well. It would list the game at -5. Also, a little bit of pause from me here because their point guard is a D2 transfer from Thomas and Jefferson. Put up 19.5 points per game, 4 boards, 3 assists. But I want to see how that translates into the D1 level. Bucknell does have a lot of continuity. They're a team that I'm really high on. I played them to win the Patriot League. Yes, you heard that correctly. Colgate in the Patriot League is supposed to be down this year by quite a bit. I think Bucknell's got a live chance to win that league. So I'm not going to play Delaware here because I also am high on these Bison.
All right. Moving along, we're going to the this is what's great about opening night day, and a shout out to the MAC and the Sun Belt for getting this thing together, for dancing at the same event here. They got just a big challenge going on. The Miami, Ohio Redskins are traveling to Boone, North Carolina to take on Appalachian State, the Mountaineers. Apps lay at 7.5. The over under at 138.5. It's too much for Travis Lexington Steele. Like, it's just too much. App lost a couple key guys. I know they're still good. It's too many points. Too many points. Give me Miami, Ohio plus a 7.5. I can be talked into betting this as well. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm with you. I think this is a hair too high. Miami of Ohio's got a lot coming back as well. And I think big year for Travis Steele, year number 3. And App State lost a ton off of that magical year team last year. You want to ride the Redskins here? Let's go.
Let's ride. Redskins. I have a sound drop somewhere in here, but I'm rusty. I'll be honest. For the basketball, I'm a little rusty on the smash. But it's somewhere in here. But yeah, let's lock this up and damn it. I don't know where it is, but yeah, we have a double lock. Can we get a triple lock perhaps going, Bieniek?
I'm going to triple lock it with you guys. Not too high on this App State squad this season. They do lose Trevon Spillers from last year. He was their stud. Also, Terrence Harcum, 12 points per game. Donovan Gregory, 13 points per game. Cocktail Napkin has this one only at +5 for Miami, Ohio. You two like it. So I'm going to ride it with you. Let's go with these. We call them Redskins. Red Hawks.
Triple lock. Go. Triple lock. Miami, Ohio Redskins. Lock it up 7.5 points. Sprinkle that money line. All right.
I don't know if we're sprinkling the money line in Boone.
Oh, come on. Good God.
Come on. What are we talking about here? We're going into Boone?
No, it's football season still. What do you mean? They're not there yet. I've been to Boone plenty of times. All right. Shout out to Rob Donaldson. He's just throwing money at us. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, Rob.
Actually, shop around too. On Tally site right now, you can get a +8. So I'm trying to figure out where that's at.
Yeah. Jump on that. Ride that money line. App's not there yet. Let's go. Moving along. Let's jump over to Hinkle, where Butler's laying 14 points against Missouri State and Quanzo Martin, who's back at the scene of the crime, where he took them to what? He had he was a coach 3 years there, I think from 2008 to 2011. His final 2 years there were great. I remember Quanzo Martin from playing with Glenn Big Dog Robinson with Gene Cady at Purdue. Glad to see he's back coaching. We know he got a raw deal, I thought, at Tennessee, even though obviously Barnes is successful after. But it's just going to take some time, though. It's going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to lay the 14 with Butler. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lay with Butler too. Remember last year or these last couple of years, they would drill these inferior opponents at home early in the year. And Missouri State is a completely new team. It's going to take Quanzo a little bit of time. Yeah, I'll lay with Butler.
Bieniek, what are you doing here at Hinkle?
This is a lock for me. I'm going with Butler here. We were high on this team in our Big East preview, and you look at Missouri State, JUCO point guard, 2 other JUCOs in the backcourt transfers, of course, JUCO transfers coming in. They only have 1 returner from last year. It's a brand new team for Quanzo Martin, and he has been out of the coaching game for a little bit as well. So I'm going to go with Butler here and lock this one up with the Bulldogs.
Noah Bieniek locking up the Butler Bulldog. People are asking why the dog is crying, because Jim Jones is a graduate from Butler University. I'm not joking. He really is. So it's been crying for quite a while. Let's move along. Toledo Troy, back to this MAC Sunbelt Challenge. Troy, Alabama. Troy, obviously, they've gotten better. I remember when they used to be just completely horseshit. But I'm surprised they're laying 6 against Toledo. I'm on the Rockets. Toledo's got good culture. 6 points, a little too much. I think they're live in this game too. I can be talked into a lock here as well. Moneyline Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm on the Trojans. This is my pick to win the Sun Belt. They got a ton of guys back from that team last year. Scott Cross, he's a good coach, man. 3 straight 20-win seasons. Then he got a raw deal at Arlington. I'll lay it. Toledo lost a lot last year.
Still, it's football season. There's gonna be like 4 people at this game. All right.
That is true.
This is a neutral as far as I'm concerned. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I'm going to push back on Mac saying Toledo lost a lot last year. They do return 2 starters, and in this day and age, that's not losing a ton. Sonny Wilson, the point guard, returns, and also Javon Simmons returns. You don't win 4 straight MAC regular season titles without good culture. Give me Toledo. I think this is too many points. They could be live. I'm not going to play it on the road on game 1, but I think the Rockets cover this one.
I might end up betting this too. Depends how many Hams beers I fucking had tonight. From 1987.
Toledo didn't lose everything. They didn't. I just read the roster.
They lost 60%.
All right. No battles here. This is one that check the picks page. I feels good to say that. Check the picks page. Once again, sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Click on college basketball picks. And later tonight, you will have all of our picks there. So jump on over there and do that.
When the games load into our service.
Yeah, they were not available. So don't give me any shit. All right.
I'm attempting to pick them as we go along, by the way. On our
there we go. North Florida, the Ospreys are heading to Columbia, South Carolina. Take on my guy Lamont Paris and the Gamecocks. Lamont Paris made me a lot of money last year. 17 points is insane right now. Give me the Ospreys plus 17. I can be talked into a potential lock here as well. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm going to stay away. I'm going to take North Florida. Driscoll. Both these teams are had really good years last year. So give me North Florida in the points. No bet though.
Bieniek?
Both of these teams had good years last year. Like Max said, both of them lose quite a bit of production. Colin Murray-Boyles returns for South Carolina. And I think this is more of a game that South Carolina needs to make a little bit of a statement here and keep their fan base believing in this, because Lamont Paris did not keep a few guys in the transfer portal that people thought he should have or been able to at least. So I think this should be a statement game for the Cox in Columbia. So let's go with Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean, look, but they've been partying all week. Is anyone going to be here?
I mean, the momentum is going to keep rolling in, right?
But then they lost everybody off the team. They all transferred.
No, Colin Murray-Boyles is back. He was one of their best players from last year.
Let's move along to this nice regional battle as Cal State Northridge heads to Bonaventure, New York. The Bonnies are laying 8. That Cal State Northridge Matador logo is youtube.com/the college experience. If you stare at that long enough, it turns into Sean Green. The Bonnies are laying 8. I'm kind of fascinated by this game because, remember last season, early on, the Matadors were a darling of mine.
Yeah.
They were a darling of mine, but down the stretch, they faded. They faded heavy. You're going too far. You're going too far here. This is too far of a trip. They're going to be wondering where the hell they're at. It's all cold. Give me the Bonnies laying the 8. No lock, though, because I could see Northridge covering this thing. Bonnies sometimes start slow, in my opinion. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, speaking of a team that has nothing coming back, the Bonnies. I'm going to take Northridge in the points. I think that Bonaventure wins a close one to start. I think it's going to take Schmidt a little bit of time to get this roster going.
Bieniek?
Right there with Mac. I think the last year raised a little bit of concern with me in Mark Schmidt. I thought that roster was ready to go. I thought that was a really good roster that was poised to be one of the contenders in the A-10. They did not do that, in my opinion. Northridge does have a lot of new pieces here as well. I'm actually going to go and lay the points with Bonaventure, but I do not love this at all.
Yeah, mine's if this was like played in, say, the Pentagon, I think I would take Northridge.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but I think because of that going all the way over there, it happens. It happens. By the way, Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Here's your team.
Their logo is incredible. Whoever does their artwork.
It's one of the best in all of college sports.
Well, this is another one that it's great if you I thought it was a thing on drugs, but it turns out you can see it sober. That it says in the lion's hair.
UAPB.
Yeah, I just thought it was something I stumbled upon extremely high. And
Are you serious?
I did. I really did. And
it's just like the Washington State Cougar.
Yeah, this one's even better though. Whoever did the logo here needs to be involved with the space program as far as I'm concerned. They're heading to Cincinnati to get that filthy Skyline chili. All right. Which I have been known to eat. You ever eat something that you don't like just consistently?
What are you saying? Skyline chili's at?
I don't know that I love it.
Yeah.
But every time I go there, I eat it. Cause it's like I'm trying to convince myself that I like it. Anyway, Cincinnati. Well, so Pine Bluff is a team that I was horrible with last year.
You love them. You love APB.
I took them way too often, and I was looking back at my records. Maybe I wasn't the best with Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
I'll lay the 33 with Cincinnati, but this is a gigantic number. But they're so fucking horrible, and Cincinnati's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
I'll lay it. What are you doing here?
Dude, I am so tempted to bet Cincy. Like these teams that got a lot of expectations and a lot of guys coming back, I feel like they're licking their chops to just drill somebody after playing themselves in practice for a month. Cincy big. I think they win by 40. Check the picks page.
Beat it.
Andrew of TG Andrews says, as a Cincinnatian, don't you dare talk shit on Skyline.
You love that shit.
I wasn't saying it was all the way. Look, I still get it every time. I'm helping that fucking economy you got there. Did you have Jerry Springer as a fucking mayor? You know what I mean? Anyway, Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I am going to go with Cincinnati. I'm going to lay the points here. This is another Big 12 team beaten up on a tomato can here early in the non-conference portion of the season. And Cincinnati, although I was high on them, I don't know if I had them in my top 25 in the country this year. They were ranked in the top 25 by the AP in the preseason. I think Cincinnati is going to want to come out and make that statement. So, yeah, I would say lay the points with Cincy here.
Should we bet this, guys?
No. Dude, it's so tempting. Like these Big 12 teams, like Noah said, drill these shit ass teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about Iowa State against Mississippi Valley State for crying out loud.
Don't you
later
dare
on.
say the napkin
they
says they like
murder these teams in the non-conference.
We do got to talk about that game.
Houston also murders these teams in the non-conference too. You'd think, oh, Houston, more of a defensive-minded team. No. They beat the shit out of these teams in the non-conference slate.
I just feel like this is going to be one like 97-34.
They're covered. I mean? They cover at half. Yeah, let's bet it.
Let's do it. Let's lock it up.
You guys are maniacs.
Sorry, Pine Bluff. You were my darlings last year, but I moved along. All right. Your logo's still fire. All right. Lay the 33 double lock myself and Moneyline Mac. Thad Truth in the chat saying, I'm from the SWAC and UAPB is not good. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Moving along. We're going back to the Sun Belt MAC in Statesboro, Georgia. Hey, Ish says these dudes don't know what they're talking about.
Thanks,
sure. Sure. It is
like
game one. I actually think this is the episode to get all that in because I can't.
100%. I would like to see I would like to see Ish jump on camera and talk about 117 D1 college basketball games and at least do it with a straight face and sound somewhat informative because it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, but still, it's not like we really. I mean, I'm drinking a Ham's beer, and it's not like a real hard job, right? I'm just saying, especially on November 4th. On November 4th, I feel like it's the perfect time to call me a fucking idiot. I mean, it's always probably somewhat
Colby
reliable,
didn't
but
preview 31 conferences, 364 teams. What an idiot!
He's arguing that Pine Bluff isn't gonna get annihilated, dude.
I know.
They're gonna get fucked up tomorrow.
Yeah, this guy's brother is the small forward for Pine Bluff. I get it. Remember that one time, Bieniek? Remember that one time that you shit on Diego Pavia?
Ish goes, bro, Arkansas Pine Bluff was the number 1 team in their conference. They're not getting beat down. Arkansas is touching 60 plus by default. Cincy has to score 9,096 plus to cover. No way, LOL.
Well, there's a reason why they play the games, all right? Maybe he's right. Maybe he's wrong. This is called gambling ish.
Well, I can tell you Arkansas Pine Bluff was not the number 1 team in their conference last year. So not right there, but go ahead.
Well, I get it. If his cousin plays small forward for Pine Bluff, I'm on board. Anyway, this game, what the fuck we talking about? Northern Illinois, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's laying 8.5. Too many. I'm on these MAC teams. Give me the 8.5 in Northern Illinois. I think they're live. I know I sound like a fucking broken record here with all these MAC teams. It's November. MACtion's starting. Maybe that's part of why I just feel good about the MAC. MAC, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna lay with Georgia Southern, but I'm not betting it, man. When they put that 8.5 number, it's like the books just want to go. Throw it here. See, it seems like a nice happy medium. We'll see which way it goes. Yeah, I like Georgia Southern what they did under Henry in year 1. I think Charlie Henry, that is their coach. I think they roll in year number 2 to start. Northern Illinois lost everybody, and they were fucking horrible in MAC play last year.
In MAC play.
Yeah, they were good in the non-con.
Keyword. They did, I think. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Georgia Southern here too. They returned 3 starters from last season. Aaron Brooks, 10 points per game, shot at 39% from 3 as a freshman. I think Southern at home. I'll lay the points with them.
Let's go. Shout out to Brian Twinning, who says, first time tuning in. This is great shit. There we go. And thank you, Rob Donaldson, for $2.50 saying your next Ham's beer is on me. It's Tall Boy too. Tall Boy. And Jeff Sharp said he drank it once sitting in a convertible at a drive-in movie theater watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fantastic.
I love the crowd that we garner on opening night here. This is great.
True. I guarantee you our crowd's bigger than the Georgia Southern crowd tomorrow. But hey, keep being you.
What about
Eagles,
these games in Xenia, Ohio?
Yeah, I still not sure where that is geographically in Ohio. I've spent a good amount of time in Ohio.
We might get more than Valpo versus Liberty. We have 775 right now.
Yeah. Feeling good. Yeah. New Hampshire, UMass, Amherst. I can't see the line, but
my fault.
UMass is laying 16. The over under at 147. I mean that New Hampshire logo is pretty decent. The UMass one, it's cool too, sort of. UMass is laying 16. New Hampshire's fucking horrible. Who am I kidding? I know Frank lost some guys, but still, culture play. Lay the 16. UMass is just they're on a different plateau.
Yeah.
Than New Hampshire. What are you doing here with your former boss?
You know, I'm not picking against my guy Frank Martin. I like the guards that they brought back. They lost all that stuff in the front court. I think their guards run away with this against New Hampshire. UMass got the Mountaineers on deck in Morgantown on Friday. Worth noting.
Look at that.
Sneaks that in there.
Yeah.
Sneaks that in there.
Go Minutemen.
Bieniek.
I am going to go with UMass too. As much as UMass lost in the front court with Josh Cohen going to USC and Cross heading to SMU, they do have some talent in the backcourt, whereas New Hampshire lost their best player last year, Clarence Daniels. He's out of eligibility, I believe. So I'm going to go with UMass, lay the points with the Minutemen.
Yeah. And shout out to Ish giving us 99 cents. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. You know what? Actually, no, I'm betting on Cincinnati. I was going to say, I hope you're right. I don't hope you're right, but I hope Pine Bluff has a fine season with their fire ass logo.
Great logo.
Moving along, we got, please, guys.
25?
South Carolina Upstate is getting 24.5 points against the Pussy Pack of NC State. And look, remember last year they had this magical season where they went to the Final Four, still didn't win anything. And if you're not first, you're last. And they were going to fire Kevin Keats, but he pulled this out of his ass on that banked in 3-pointer at the ACC tournament. Mm-hmm. Tony Bennett's last game. That was like the best situation that could happen to NC State from my point of view as an ECU fan, because now you have Kevin Keats extended and Upstate plus 24.5 is hitting. It's hitting. We should bet this, Mac. Let's go. Let's take Upstate.
Upstate is literally like they have nobody. They have an entire new team, and they're all like freshmen and sophomores. I'm gonna lay it.
You don't need anybody against the Pussy Pack.
This is a front runner NC State spot where they beat up on some shit team and they flex their Final Four rings and
correct. They're gonna raise the Final Four banner and
they're gonna kill.
There'll be some people here. They're gonna beat up on Upstate and they'll look like world beaters. Like everybody was wrong about them in the preseason. Yeah. This isn't the game quite yet to fade them, I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I want you guys to know that I will be at a live college basketball game tomorrow.
Which game?
You got to figure out which one. Not letting you in. I'm not letting you in.
What's the fun in that?
Because it's like Secret Santa, buddy. All right.
I can't believe this guy chooses to watch one game instead of 116 others on opening night.
Give me Upstate, and this is fringe lock potential. Shout out to Clark, he's with me. All right, Gardner Webb, the running Bulldogs are heading to Knoxville. They're gonna get destroyed. I'll lay the 27.5 because Tennessee just really fucks up these mid majors. I kind of like Gardner Webb over the past couple of years, but 27.5. Barnes fucks up these teams. I'm gonna lay it. Mac, what are you doing here?
Well, and Colby, it's worth noting too that they have a new coach. He went over to Coastal. Jeremy Luther takes over. So
they promoted from within, though, right?
Yeah, they promote within. But I'm with you. Late with Tennessee, they destroy these teams in this non-con. That's a fringe lock, to be honest. It really is. Check the picks page.
We should. This is like we should consider parlaying this with Cincinnati.
Clark says, Noah, people leave their basement and go places. LOL.
It's true. There's a world out there. There's a world out there.
I prefer to be bunkered down and watch a lot of college sports.
What do you do? So hold on. We this this should be considered in the parlay with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to go with Gardner Webb. I'm going to question the offense here so far from Tennessee. I'm not sure they have the offense yet to really blow out teams yet. I want to see it. They lose Dalton Connect from last season, and they're attempting to do it to replace his production through Chaz Lanier and or Darlin Stone DeBar, and neither of them, I think, I'm not buying into either of them replacing that production the way that Connect was able to, light up the scoreboard. So I'm actually going to go running Bulldogs here in game one.
Wow. Sky. Let's talk about this logo. Wright State is heading into Lexington, Kentucky to take on this is, a brand new coaches, at both schools. Fun game. Obviously, Mark Pope back at Kentucky. A lot of pressure potentially on him. How much pressure do you think? I mean, it's year one.
Yeah.
What do you think the expectations are? What's a happy season for the Kentucky fans? We know they're fucking unrealistic, but what would be a disappointing season and what would be a great season? Like Elite Eight? Are they just like, okay, we're sold on Pope, or what do you think, Mac?
I think second weekend, year one would be great, but honestly, it's going to come down to what is the record of the team in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's going to be the measuring stick. Are we better than the team in Arkansas where our coach left for? So yeah, I like Pope higher.
I think Arkansas might be better this season. My measuring stick is Kentucky wearing white game one in the NCAA tournament? If so, that's pretty positive because Cal took basically the important pieces from the recruiting class and left Pope with no freshmen. He had to go to the transfer portal, clean up on some scraps late. So whatever you get out of this season, I think it's a positive if you are a top 1 through 8 seed in the NCAA tournament. But I think Kentucky, he's already it's Kentucky. He's already killing it on the recruiting trail. I think they're better positioned for success 2, 3, 4 years down the road than Arkansas is.
I'm a big fan of this Wright State logo. Why are we not running with this thing anymore?
I like the dog. Put me in the husky category, the wolf category, whatever you want to call it.
Really?
Yep.
No. This thing is interesting.
Bill Russo agrees with me too. He likes the wolf logo.
Sober?
Roger Francis is calling this a leprechaun Viking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's mysterious. It's mysterious. Like, this is one done a long time ago. Drugs were definitely involved. And the leg placement is very confusing. The eyes, very, very confusing. Yeah, I will lay it with Kentucky here because this is one you just need to. The crowd is going to be there for it. Their football team's ass, and
sure.
Yeah, I think you got to lay it. Mac, I could be talked into a lock here.
I'm actually on Wright State. I think that they're an older team. They got an identity. I know Nagy went over to Southern Illinois, but they promote within Sargent. I just think that it's a 10 to 15 point Kentucky win. I think they pull away late, but I don't think they win by 20. Wright State's not a bad mid-major.
He's still mad at the Toshiba thing. I get it. Bieniek, what, are you riding with Kentucky with me?
I'm finding it interesting when Mac is picking his spots for different angles that he's using here. Because I mean, with Gardner-Webb, they lost their head coach. Some continuity wasn't great, but with Wright State, they lost their head coach, and some continuity is great. But they lose Tanner Holden and Trey Calvin. That was basically the team last year for Wright State. I'll see what they have coming back here in Kentucky game one, but I think the Wildcats, they're really old, and it's a home game. A lot of pressure during this season for Pope. I'm going to go with the Wildcats. Big Blue Nation covers in game one.
No lock?
No.
Okay. You could have talked me into it. Speaking of...
Hey, Florida State.
Yes, we're going to Tallahassee, where Saudi Arabia State is hosting Northern Kentucky. I was just in Tallahassee like 2 days ago, and they're giving away free tickets to this game. I thought it was for the football game because there was like 7 people at their football game this past week.
What kind of way to get to North Carolina did you take? How'd you go all the way down to Louisiana and then to Florida and then get to North Carolina?
It's called the correct way. All right. Look, here's what you do. I've driven cross country like 50 fucking times. All right.
I believe you. Yeah.
And you gotta hit. Like, have you been to New Orleans? It's awesome. And then if
Colby's
you go
gonna
to
take
Savannah,
his young
Georgia,
family into New Orleans to stay at night.
Yes,
that's great.
Why would I not? Where am I supposed to go? Fucking Shreveport? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? if anything, I like Tallahassee wasn't originally planned. I actually missed my my destination.
Okay.
I turned it off. I turned off like the maps to get gas, and then I realized, that's another thing. If you travel with me, we don't book hotels until you're in the city. That's a rule.
That's fair.
That's a fucking rule. Yeah. Ask NC Nick about that when we went through Europe.
You never plan. We know that.
Oh yeah. Don't do that. Like I'm telling you, go see the city, feel out the city, find the spot, then book the hotel. You might be a little bit overpriced, but it's worth it. Northern Kentucky with their crazy ass logo, playing fucking Dungeons and Dragons here. What's your fucking dexterity there, buddy? They're catching 8.5 at Saudi Arabia State there in Tallahassee. I'll lay it. I don't know who's going to be at this game. I like it's confusing, but I'm going to lay it. I'm laying the 8.5. What are you doing here?
I think we got a live dog. I think Northern Kentucky, lock it up. I think you sprinkle some on the money line, man. I think Northern Kentucky, Florida State's a mess right now. Leonard Hamilton, they have not figured out the portal.
In football, you mean, right?
Well, yeah. I guess I'm speaking for both sports. Northern Kentucky's a proud program year in and year out. They're right there at the top of the horizon again. I think they're live in this game. Let's go Norse.
Bieniek?
So I'm on Northern Kentucky with you guys. I would feel pretty confident about this, but also 2 D2 transfer point guards coming in. Outside of that, they returned 4 starters from last year. It's just how are they replacing Marquez Warwick is a huge question mark. Game 1 in Tallahassee. I'm going to go NKU, but I'm not going to bet it. For what it's worth, Colby's rule when your football team sucks, maybe your basketball team is good.
Well, you don't think that's part of my handicap?
The football team sucks. The basketball team sucks. The baseball team is going to be damn good.
That's why he took Kentucky the last day.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying Florida State's football and basketball teams are going to be ass this year. It means the baseball team is a national title contender, and I truly believe that.
I'm telling you, there's something to that. That's why Florida State covers. Let's go. Moving along. Fair dick.
That's why how remarkable TCU's athletic department was like 3 years ago. College football national championship. Basketball was like a 6th seed or whatever. Baseball goes College World Series. Unprecedented.
Jeremiah Donati doing a hell of a good job there. Fairleigh Dickinson is heading to Coral Gables.
What the fuck?
Take on Miami here. Miami's laying 23.5. I'll lay it. Mac?
I'll lay it as well. Miami off that embarrassing year last year. You got to think they're going to come out and make a statement.
I kind of dig the Fairleigh Dickinson logo. It's the chess piece. You know what I mean? That's pretty fire. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm going with Miami too. I think the athleticism is going to be way too much for FDU here. So give me the Canes. Lay it.
And Miami should always use this logo. This logo is way better than their other stuff. The U. This is way cooler. This guy's got a fucking orange Band-Aid on his face. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to lock that though. But yeah. Manhattan is heading to College Park, Maryland. Jaspers catching 24.5. Give me the Jaspers. Too many points. Who the fuck is Maryland? No one goes to these games now that you joined the Big Ten. I hope you enjoy that money. 24.5. No. Maryland wins by 12 or 14. Give me these Jaspers. Mac, what are you doing here?
You know, I love the Jaspers. I'm with you. Take the points. They lose by 22.
Bieniek?
Maryland was flirting with disaster with a couple of mid-majors last year. I think this is totally fair. So I'm going to go in Manhattan too. That's a lot of points for opening night for Maryland of all teams.
26 now, says Elliott on DK.
It's a terrible offense.
Dude, we might have to bet this.
It's just sometimes, man, these little guys go in there on opening night and they just run into a buzzsaw where you're like,
Circa's hanging 26 too. If you have a Circa app, if you're regionally eligible.
Moving along. Oh,
This is a good
Lavelle
game.
Moton in North Carolina Central is heading to Fairfax, Virginia, where Mason's laying 14. Get the fuck at lock. Give me Central plus 14. I love you, Tony Skid. You're my guy. But Lavelle Moton's my guy too. And this line's off. Mason had a lot of portal guys leave. Central's going to stay within this number. Let's go. Mac?
Yep, I had this one circled too. I think this one's another one that could be live. NC Central, let's go. Lock it up.
Bieniek, triple lock?
No, I'm actually going to go with the Pats here or GMU. Mason could be all right. I really do think that KD Johnson, for what it's worth, was good at Auburn. His shot selection was dog shit. I think he could be really good in the A-10 and in the non-conference for James Madison. They also have 6 seniors in that rotation. I think this is a really old team. I'm actually going to lay the points with James.
14 points? I like Mason this year too. I just think I would have set this at like 7. 6.5, 7.5, 14. No.
Yeah. I thought it'd be like 9 or 10. 14's much.
Double lock on North Carolina Central plus the points. George Mason, start your damn football program, you losers. All right. I love you, George Mason. It's personal for me. Columbia is heading to Baltimore. Take this. I gotta be honest. The Greyhound logo is pretty fire too. Loyola is catching 5. Wow, Columbia's laying 5. It's tough. That's tough. Give me the Greyhounds. All right. As someone that spent far too much time on Greyhounds before, there's nothing worse than taking a Greyhound. What's that?
Have you spent more time in Columbia?
The country of Columbia. But
wait,
look,
these guys aren't located in the country of Columbia.
The country of Columbia, you take the bus, everyone's normal. You take a Greyhound in California to Vegas, which I've taken that thing a ton of times. That's rough. You get like a homeless person shit their pants and you're just stuck smelling it for it can get raunchy on the
there is impeccable.
Give me the Greyhounds. Mac, what are you doing here?
This line feels telling that Columbia is laying this many points. I'm actually going to lay with Columbia. They bring back everybody, and we have a new coach at Loyola, brand new roster. I guess I'll lay with Columbia, but I'm not betting this one.
Bieniek?
I'm right there with Mac. I'm taking Columbia for basically all the same reasons.
All right.
What's our guy's name on Columbia? De La Rosa?
Yes.
He's a stud.
Geronimo
Rubio De La Rosa.
You're saying that with confidence this year.
Ball State is heading per game, 4 boards, 2.5 assists last season. He's a stud.
Ball State is heading to Atlanta to take on Georgia State. Georgia State's laying 2.5. All right, Sunbelt. Here's your chance. I'm laying the 2.5 with Georgia State. I don't have a good feel in this for this one. I really struggle with this because I actually think Ball State might be the better team, but since it's on the road, give me those Panthers minus 2.5. Don't bet this. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm taking Ball State. I like Mike Lewis. I think he's done a good job. I also, how many people are going to be at this game? There's going to be like 20 people at this game. So give me Ball State and the MAC here on the road.
Bieniek?
I like Ball State. Cocktail Napkin's really low on Georgia State for this season. But I'm not too enthusiastic about backing Ball State on the road here. But not much to like about this Georgia State roster, in my opinion.
Shout out to Cody Frazier. I was born on Ball State's campus. Give it up for the great Cody Frazier, right?
Hospital in Muncie.
And there's speculation that we after we got to the prostitute in Vegas, now we have to go to Columbia next. Bieniek. Well, Brian, brother, I lived in LA for like a long time without a car, believe it or not. I just, so it's your only way to Vegas because, when you're broke, you're broke.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Ryan Hasty in the chat too saying There's Ball State plus 3.5 out in the wild too, if you like the cards.
Yeah.
I think they win this game. I think they win the game.
We got this barn burner here. The Cocaine Bears of Maine are heading into Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on these filthy Blue Devils. Don't storm the court. Have some decency. Duke's laying 29.5. The over under at 135.5. This is just did Cooper Flag demand this game?
Yes.
You just say, I'll go there, but you have to schedule Maine.
First game, yeah.
For those that don't know, Cooper Flag from the state of Maine, and his younger brother by 1 year, just committed to Maine too. So
lay it. They're gonna fuck them up. We should bet this.
If you want to bet this, bet it now, because there's gonna be a lot of people that play this tomorrow when they hear the storylines and everything. This thing's gonna close at 34 or 35. So if you're gonna bet it now. Mac,
can I talk you into a parlay of Cincinnati, Tennessee, and Duke?
I think so. I'm just laughing. I go on the money splits, and it's 98 and 99 for Duke right now. Nobody's betting Maine in this situation. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I think Duke's gonna kill them here.
Yeah, we should triple lock this. Maine, by the way, they need to call Arkansas Pine Bluff. They got to get a better. That logo's lacking, in my opinion. It's very 1997-ish. Yeah, it's just not really doing it for me. So wait, is this a triple lock?
No, I'm not playing this.
Teams just get drilled in that arena like these little guys, man. The Cameron Crazies are going crazy. Flag's favorite game, or first game, they're gonna get killed.
Double lock. Mac Dundee taking the Duke Blue Devils. Lay 29.5. All right, let's continue on this journey. St. Francis, the Red Flash are heading to UD Arena. Great stadium, great fans. Dayton's laying 25.5. Oh man, St. Francis is ass, but I'm like, it's a big number.
Yeah,
give me the points, Mac. What are you doing here?
Lay it. That's another place. Like, it doesn't matter who they're going to play. They're going to.
That's true. That's true.
Or whatever in there.
Actually,
they're going to kill them.
You're right.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
I'm going to change it. Give me Dayton minus the points. You're right. Yeah. That arena's momentum. If you haven't been to a game there, you got to go. It's fantastic. Bieniek, what are you doing here? You're on mute, brother. You're still on mute.
This one I'm willing to lock. St. Flash, not a whole lot to like here. Dayton, there's a lot to like. Long term, it's not very attractive. There's some injury questions with a couple of the pieces on this roster, but you have Nate Santos, Posh Alexander transfers in from Butler, Zed Key transfers in from Ohio State, Malachi Smith is healthy to begin the year at least, and Enoch Cheats can hit some threes for you. Dayton's going to be really good early in the year until maybe there's some adversity with some health, but early you should be back in the Flyers, I think.
How about the Cincy Duke Dayton parlay 3802 is talking about? Maybe that's the better angle.
I would support that one a little bit more than the one that includes Tennessee.
Let's do that. Let's fire away. All right. If you're not parlaying on opening college basketball day, what are you doing, folks? All right. Moving along. Central Connecticut State's taking on the Friars of Providence. Providence laying 16. The real Blue Devils, can they go up there or go over there? I don't fucking remember. I don't know who's south and who's north. Lay it. What are you doing here, Mac?
I'm going to take the Blue Devils. I liked what I saw from them last year. I'm still a skeptic on Kim English at Providence. I know. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Coming
Bryce
back.
Hopkins is not healthy.
Yeah, coming back from his ACL injury.
They're aiming for feast week with him, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take the points here with Central Connecticut.
I'm taking the points with the real Blue Devils too.
No. Moving along. Robert Morris. The Colonials are heading into Morgantown, West Virginia. West Virginia's laying 16.5 against Bob Morris. Stop it, Mac. Stop it. Give me the Colonials and the points. West Virginia wins by 12. Mac?
This is a great logo, by the way.
Yes, West Virginia needs to put that thing on the 50-yard line and on the hardwood. And shout out to Robert Morris for being the Colonials. Yeah, I mean,
they didn't get canceled.
Thank you. They have Bernard Clark coaching their football team. He's a fucking former Cincinnati Bengal linebacker. They're a fun university there. What are you doing here?
Mountaineers make their free throws, win by 18. I'll lay it. I'm not betting the Mountaineers, so.
Bieniek?
Cocktail napkins low on Robert Morris. Has this game listed at -24 in favor of West Virginia in Darian DeVries' first game as the head coach here. For instance, just for clarity on the roster here with Robert Morris, expected to start Cam Woods, an NC State transfer, only played 7.5 minutes, not too much last season. Josh Omojafo, a D2 transfer from Gannon. Marion Dickerson comes in from JUCO. It's basically just Justice Williams, who is a former LSU, misfit, and he's with a bunch of other misfits that transfer in this season. So I'm not going to play this in West Virginia's first game under the new era, but I think they win this one handily.
All right. Buffalo, Sunbelt, Mac, we're back. They're catching 10 in Norfolk against Old Dominion. Man, I'll lay the 10. I'll lay the 10. Buffalo was so ass last year. I know ODU's got the coaching change.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one though.
No, but no wager here. No wager. I'll lay the 10. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm in the same boat. I think the Old Dominion wins by 15-ish. But I don't know if I want to lay 10 here. I think it's going to be around that the entire game. Buffalo just has nothing on their roster. But Old Dominion, first game under Mike Jones, I'll lay it.
Yeah, Colby, do you know where Mike Jones comes in, by the way, off the top of your head?
Why am I drawing a blank right now?
He's the old DeMatha head coach, correct?
That's right. I did know that.
It's a hell of a hire. They're going to be really good compared to a couple of years past. And Buffalo's going to be pretty terrible. Honestly, last year my prediction was that Buffalo was going to go from one of the more respected programs in the MAC to one of the worst teams in the country, and that pretty much did happen. I don't think they're getting any better. This is a fringe lock. Check the picks page. I'm going to take a little bit more of a deeper look in this game. Old Dominion, I might be locking up by the end of the night.
Wow, I like it. Representing my pops' high school, DeMatha there with the great Morgan Wooten before that. Florida Gulf Coast is catching 6 at UNC Greensboro. This is a fun matchup. Greensboro laying 6 against Coast. I'm gonna lay the points here. The 6 free throws at the end. Mac, what are you doing here?
I thought the same thing, that 6 was exactly right. I'll take the points with Gulf Coast. They seem to always start the seasons quick under Chambers and then kind of peter out down the stretch. So I'll take the points, but I'm just looking forward to watching this game. Is this the game you're going to in North Carolina?
Yeah,
that's a good one. Good call.
This is a great one because both of these rosters lose a little bit of production from last year. They're not as sexy coming in. They're both really good programs. So it's just a matter of like which program is a little bit further along here post preseason in game 1. So for me, I'm going to take the points. It's 2 possessions. Florida Gulf Coast is a solid program. I'll go Eagles.
Yeah, I'll probably bet this just for the fact I'm going to go, but I don't bet this unless you're going.
How far is that drive for you to Greensboro?
It's like 45 minutes. Why, you want to roll down?
No. I was just wondering. You can get to a lot of games now that you're in the Carolinas, baby.
Oh yeah. My life
Is
just.
Nick going too?
No, I'm actually taking my wife. Me and my wife are gonna go. You know, so let's go.
Date night with Pick Dundee. Yeah, let's go.
That's what I do. Date night. Yeah, you're goddamn right.
Yes,
you seen the movies coming out lately?
Yeah.
Pass me the whiskey bottle. You know what I mean?
From Playa del Carmen. Welcome back, Nidi Aki. That's a familiar name, but I can't pronounce it. Welcome back.
Yes, I know that name. I recognize it. Cheers. Playa del Carmen's fantastic. I need to get back there. Let me know where to eat. And shout out to Clark. He's in High Point. Clark, we got to get up, brother. Navy is heading to Philly. Take out St. Joe. St. Joe's laying 16.5. What the hell is going on here? Give me, I'll sink your battleship over here. Give me Navy. What are we talking about over here? 16.5. I know David Robinson graduated, but still, give me the midshipman. Mac, what are we doing here?
Man, they're sleeping on the Patriot League. Chelsea's a good coach, and they bring back like everybody from last year. Yeah, St. Joe's is going to be good, but 16.5, no way. Lock up Navy.
Yes.
I'm locked.
Yes. I'll join you. 16.5. Who the hell? There we go. Bieniek, you want to play a game of Battleship over here?
I'm not going to pull a trigger on this bet. I am going to take Navy in the points. The reason why I think this line might be a little bit inflated, I don't know why, but St. Joe's is catching a lot of steam in the preseason. A lot of people like this roster with Xavier Brown and Eric Reynolds II in that backcourt. Both of them are, really fun guards, and they also return Rasheed Fleming. But Billy Lang needs to show us something. So I'm holding back from St. Joe's to start the season. Give me Navy.
Shout out to Danny Dumbshit, giving us $20. One of my favorite names. Buy a slice for the wife. Let's go. Yes. Clark, come out to the game tomorrow. Charleston Southern.
I can't believe Colby's actively trying to convince people to leave their bunkers and command centers for one game on a 117 game slate.
Well, the season just started. You got games every night. That's part of the fun. The live college experience is always better.
For those that are going to be bunkered in, we're going to do a watch along show with the new pregame The College Experience cast. So, gonna be fun.
The Charleston Southern Pirate kind of bothers me. The logo, it's too modern. Looks like a fucking wannabe Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? They're heading to Clemson. Clemson's laying 21.5. Lay it.
I'm with you. Lay it.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I like Clemson this year. They return Ian Shefflin and the point guard I can't, names slipping me. It's tough. The beginning of the season.
I know. But they're counting down 7-6-5.
Well, Gerard graduated after 75 years of college.
Hunter. You're thinking of Hunter.
Yep. 364 teams. I had one brain.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, Chase Hunter and Ian Shefflin returned from last year's Elite Eight team. I think they do fine game one.
Shout out to Sean Glass. What are you doing? Come out to the game. Let's go. Yeah, moving along. Lemoyne is at Syracuse. They're both actually in Syracuse, right?
Yes.
How the hell do you get the name Lemoyne? It just sounds like something it sounds like a spread in France. Lemoyne, it's catching 21.5. It's the Qs, the Orangemen. I'm gonna lay it. I think Syracuse did a decent job in the offseason. I'm laying the 21.5. I don't feel amazing about it because they're right there. Probably scrimmage, pick up games. Lemoyne is not going to be able to get it done here. What are you doing here, Mac?
Lemoyne actually had a pretty good year last year for their first one in D1, but I can't get that visual of them just getting absolutely housed by Georgetown on opening night last year. In the
or how about the fact they're a Dolphin in upstate New York? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's fucking atrocious. I'm with you, Lay, with the orange men.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it with Syracuse too.
All right, moving along. We got Bellarmine. Bellarmine is heading to Richmond. Take on VCU. VCU's laying 21. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
It's a really bad match, though, for Bellarmine, man.
I know. There's still 21 points on opening night? No. Give me Bellarmine. Let's go. What are you doing here?
VCU fridge lock. I think this is a terrible matchup. The Staples going into Havoc.
There's more Staples there in Havoc too, but
yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm with Mac on VCU. I'm not gonna play it, but I really like this VCU team.
Let's go to Harrisonburg, Virginia. JMU is hosting Ohio. JMU laying 2.5. Their crowds have been great. No. Give me Ohio. Go with these MAC teams for the most part. Ohio comes in there and beats JMU. Obviously, JMU breaking in a new head coach. Not gonna lock it though. Mac, what are you doing here?
I will. Wrong team favored. Ohio's better. JMU's still the brand name be off of last year, but Preston Stradlin coming in. They lose a ton, obviously, with Byington going over to Vandy. Ohio's my pick to win the MAC. Love this team. Let's go. Bobcats outright.
Bieniek, you want to double lock that with them before I play his music?
No, I'm going to go with James Madison. So if you want to play the music, play it now, but I'm going to take the Dukes.
Moneyline MAC locking up the Ohio Bobcats. Bieniek, is this a battle?
No, I'm not locking this, but I think the home court atmosphere is good enough to get James Madison a win. I think they do it by more than a possession. Yes, this is a entirely new roster, big transfer portal team here, but it is Preston Stradlin coming in from Morehead State, who had a really good team the last few years with the Eagles there, and he brings over Mark Freeman, possibly his best player in that program, a 5'10" redshirt senior. Sorry. Didn't play last season due to an injury, but it might have been a blessing in disguise because now he could play in the Sun Belt this season instead of the Ohio Valley. 15 point per game. He was a preseason OVC player of the year last year, and he's going to be an important piece to a team that I think is going to be really good defensively. They're big in an old team, so James Madison at home, I think they get it done.
Monmouth is heading to East Lansing, take on Michigan State. Michigan State's laying 19.5. I kind of love Michigan State minus 19.5 here.
Speaking of James Madison, last year opening night, Michigan State dropped the dud.
Yeah, that game was awesome. That was a fantastic game. I'm laying the 19.5. This is fringe lock to me. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm with you. They're not going to get caught sleeping back-to-back years. Izzo's hammering it in these guys' minds all week. So yeah, Sparty for me.
Bieniek?
Yeah, this Monmouth team is a fade on the cocktail napkin this season. King Rice 2 years ago had a totally young team that they were basically imbackable, and then they got better in conference play, but it was like completely like season wasted at the beginning of the year because they were just so much unproven pieces on that team. And this year, I think it's right back into the same spot. The only reason why I'm not playing Michigan State here because cocktail napkin would have Michigan State favored by 24. Michigan State's also really young and unproven, and they have a lot of new pieces taking a big step in the roles. Xavier Booker didn't play in 8 games last year, and he's expected to start at the 4. Jeremy Fears was shot in the leg during Christmas break. All of a sudden, he's going to be the starting point guard this season. A lot of questions on this Michigan State team, for me at least this year. I am not high on Sparty, not high on Monmouth, but by default, I have to take Michigan State and lay the points.
Let's go to Orlando, where the very, 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 very Golden Knights are
This
hosting.
screen is gold.
I did it on purpose.
I know.
Because they love gold down there. Johnny Dawkins and company back. 9th year there in Orlando. The Buzzsaw Buzz Williams returns a lot of production, led by Henry Coleman. A&M's laying 4.5. Lock, Texas A&M minus 4.5. I'm a big fan of this A&M team. If you listen to our SEC preview, I think this is one of the better plays on the board. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll join you here. I think UCF's banged up as well, and A&M's bringing back almost everybody from that round of 32 team. Love A&M this year in the Buzzsaw.
Bieniek, do we have a triple lock?
No, I don't want to play Texas A&M in the bounce house. This is definitely a scary spot. And UCF does return their backcourt from last year. Unfortunately, Jalen Sellers, though, I don't know how serious that injury was. Like Max said, there are some injury scares with this UCF roster. And it's a portal team, so it's going to take them some time to gel. A lot of people are high on UCF. I don't see the sleeper potential, but I am not wanting to take Texas A&M and bet it on the road in Orlando night 1 of the season. So I'm going to take it Texas A&M, lay the points, but no bet for me. You guys can have the double lock.
Yeah, double lock. Let's go. And it's a double lock for UCF and I'm sorry, for A&M against UCF. And look, there's no line on this game, but I feel like it's proper to talk about
how the hell is there not a line on this game?
This next game. I'm talking about North Carolina Wesleyan is heading into Vegas, Greenville, North Carolina, to take on the East Carolina Pirates.
This is
Mike
not
Schwartz,
the game that I thought you were going to mention and talk about.
This is the year that East Carolina turns that corner. If you get on over to cut,
no, it's not.
Lay the 10 and
may the Schwartz be with you.
Sorry, just had to squeeze that in there. Get on over to cut. I'll battle anybody on that game.
It's obvious because East Carolina's not going to be good this year. I don't think.
Buddy, look, you're just saying that because Michigan's going to be ass. All right.
Mac and I both aligned and picked them 10th in the
Mac was drinking. He'll come to his senses. Western Michigan is heading to Conway, take on the Cox of Coastal Carolina. In case people aren't aware that Coastal Carolina's athletic department was put together pretty much by the money of the guy who created the fine restaurant known as Hooters. So let's lay the 4.5 with them. I don't want to fade that. Western Michigan going on the road there. Come on. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, and I like the Justin Gray hire over at Coastal. I know they're new, but I don't trust Western Michigan on the road. I'll lay it with Coastal.
I actually thought about betting this.
I thought about it. If it was a shorter slate, I would have pulled the trigger. But I'm like, I'm gonna have 60 by the end of this, and I'm like, I don't need to throw 61 with Coastal in there.
Yeah, Bieniek, what are you doing here with your Michigan boys down at Kalamazoo?
Dwayne Stevens, a disciple of Tom Izzo, did a pretty good job with Western Michigan last year. Unfortunately, a lot of that team disperses and scatters everywhere, whether it be portal or graduation. So he's going to have to, unfortunately, kind of redo that success from last year. So I am going to take Coastal at home here. And like Max said, I like the hire. So chance.
This logo, good. Bring that back, please. Iona, the Gales are heading to Princeton, New Jersey, or Princeton's laying 11.5. That logo is fire. Why would you ever run away from that thing? He's got the fucking pipe. He's got the stick. It's just perfect. Princeton's laying 11.5. It's too many points. It's too many points. Everyone's on Princeton. Give me Iona plus the 11.5.
How are we going with this angle that everybody's on Princeton? It's opening night.
Look, the chat's even talking about it. Rob Donaldson's on Princeton. I love Rob, but I'm just saying, I've talked to a few people. They like this Princeton wager. Give me Iona. Mac, you coming with?
No, I like Princeton here.
Hell no. I don't doing this just to be different.
Yeah, and you notice how Noah got his antennas perked up as soon as, like you said, Iona, because he's his boy Colby Anderson.
I know. That's why you got to take Iona.
That's why he's taking
He's got the blinders on.
The only reason.
No, Princeton. How about this? Princeton it limits possessions. 11.5 is gigantic in a game against Princeton. I think Princeton wins by like 9.
You got Noah.
I'm pulling up last year's Princeton schedule just to dispel this. Monmouth 82-57 W, Old Dominion 76-56 W, Northeastern 80-66 W.
Old Dominion. Jeff Jones had a fucking heart attack.
W.
All right.
I mean, Harvard 89-58. They blew teams out last year. They returned Xavier Lee, the point guard. They returned Caden Pierce, the center, the big man that they run the offense through. Iona's a gigantic portal team. I'm not high on Tobin Anderson. That's pretty clear to anybody that has
I
ever
want you to
tuned
stare
into the
that
college
logo.
experience.
I want you to stare that logo in the eye and fade it.
He brings in 8 kids from the transfer portal this season because last year's roster was not it, apparently, or maybe he just didn't do a great coach, because Iona's supposed to have the most talent in the MAAC, and somehow he went below 500. So I'm going Princeton. This team is a legit 6 or 5 loss team this season. The Tigers, they run away with this thing. This might be the lock of the day. Opening.
Wow.
He hates Iona more than fucking Sparty.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's good. Iona's going to hit. Let's go. I can't wait for tomorrow. I play your music. Bieniek's locking up Princeton. Private school pussies. Speaking of private school pussies, Penn is heading to Newark to take on NJIT, the Highlanders. Penn's laying 6. I'll lay it. Mac?
I'll lay it too. I like Donahue as a coach, and NJIT, I don't know what I'm getting here. So, yeah, I'll lay it.
Bieniek?
I'm going to lay it with the Quakers too. I think I'm a little bit higher on Penn this season in the Ivy than some others.
I thought about betting this.
I picked them 3rd in the Ivy. I don't know too much about NJIT though. So,
yeah.
They're super young.
St. George is saying NJIT is going to win on the money line. Let's go. The Brown Bears, Brown guys, heading to Albany, take on Siena. That logo is fucking gold, by the way.
Incredible.
Siena, what are you doing? Lean into that, you fucking losers. Browns laying 3. I want to take Siena if they had that logo, but they went away from it.
Interesting handicap.
Yeah. Well, fuck you. You said there's 150 fucking games. All right. Yeah. Brown, I have been buying into the past couple of years. Their athleticism. They're by far, to me, the most athletic team in the Ivy every year. They don't win it, but they're the most athletic team. I'm going to lay the 3 with Brown. Mac?
I'm going to lock Brown. I'm fading McNamara in his first game. Siena's a work in progress. Brown's got a lot coming back. Brown finished the year strong. Like you said, their roster's not bad. So, yeah.
I'll join you. I'll join you. Let's do a little double lock there on the Brown Bears. Bieniek?
I like Brown too. Keno Lilly Jr. is going to be the best player on the floor. Unfortunately for Brown, for those that don't know and might be just tuning into the college basketball season, they suffered a pretty critical preseason injury. Nana Owusu-Anane, the returning center, who had 14.5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists per game, he had a season-ending injury for Brown. So how that offense is going to operate without it, their returning center is going to be a little bit question mark for me, because basically Keno Lilly, and then we'll see. So I'm going to take Brown, but I'm not betting it.
Yeah, we got to speed this thing up. It just dawned on me. We're 2 hours into this thing, huh? It's going to be a 5-hour
117 games.
All right, let's speed it up. American is heading to Philadelphia to take on the Explorers of LaSalle. LaSalle's laying 5.5. I like LaSalle here. I'm going to lay the 5.5. Mac?
I love Dunphy as much as anybody, but I usually don't like laying points with Dunphy. I like taking him as a dog. I liked American and what they did with under Simpkins last year. They bring back a ton, just like all these other Patriot teams. I'll take American.
Bieniek?
I'm right there with Mac. American brings back the 6th most production in the country from last year under Dwayne Simpkins. I think they're poised to win the Patriot League this year. I have a bet on them. They're an old squad too. So I think American's live going into LaSalle, honestly.
Wrong. Next, Radford is, you want to talk about this? Radford, you got to call 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE because the logo needs some help. The plaid and everything. What are we doing here? Call Arkansas Pine Bluff or 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE. 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE.
Did you get Mexican there for a second?
I did, and I'm sure we'll get a 1-star rating because of that. But Pitt is laying 20. What? Fuck out of here. Lock. Radford's covering 20. This is a stupid line. Pitt wins by 9. Mac.
You know where I'm going. Radford, lock it up, man. They're old, and Pitt lost Stinson and Carrington.
Yes, 20. What am I missing here?
Oh, who do they think they are? Duke?
That's what I'm saying.
Remember, Radford almost hung in with Carolina last year on opening night in Chapel Hill.
Bieniek, you're on mute.
God damn it. It is true. Pitt does lose 2 of their best players from last year, but Radford's got a lot of new pieces incoming this year from the transfer portal. I think they got 8 transfers coming in, so I'm not running to the window to take Radford here either. But Darius Nichols, former West Virginia guard, correct, Mac? This guy, you don't think he's got this one circled opening night?
Dude, this is just easy money. Double lock. What? Triple lock? Bieniek? No.
No, he's out. He's a closet Pitt fan.
Morehead State. Everyone loves Morehead. They're going to Louisville, Kentucky. Oh boy, what could go wrong? What could go wrong here? 19.5 as the Pat Kelsey era begins. I struggle with this one. Give me the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
I took the points too. Louisville's got so many new faces. How can you lay almost 20 with them against Morehead, a proud program in-state little brother angle? Fringe lock for me on Morehead. I like Morehead, not Less Ed.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I'm going with the points here too on the little brother angle. A lot of moving parts in Louisville. It's a wait and see roster for me this season with the Cards.
All right, moving along. Vermont. This game's fantastic. Vermont is heading to Birmingham. Take on the fire-breathing Dragons. UAB. UAB is laying 6.5. Sure like this a lot better when it was 5.5 on the SGP show, but I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm locking up UAB minus the point. Staples on the road. They're not so sharp. Mac?
Yeah, I as much as I love the Vermont, this is the same handicap as McNeese.
Exactly. That should be a parlay, by the way. Yeah. UAB McNeese parlay. I said it on the SGP show. I'll say it again here. Let's go.
These teams that are really, really good in their league, they're not good in November because they dominate with their systems in January and February. Now they got to take a step up. UAB is going to win by double digits. I'm with you. Lock it up.
Parlay that as well. It's just a good like to me. First off, it's not a neutral. If this was a neutral, maybe this would be one you say, but UAB, and I think they've actually built up a little bit of a crowd there. Yep. And you can't fade Butta Johnson. All right, Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm taking UAB with you guys. This is another athleticism play where UAB is going to be able to, I think, run circles around some of these guys in Vermont. But I'm not going to lock this one though. I'm going to stay away. I respect the Vermont program, and I think they'll be within this range of number throughout the entire game. UAB isn't really going to threaten, or Vermont's not really going to threaten to win this game, but I think UAB wins.
Yeah, it's a good play. It's a good play. All right, moving along. That's a double lock, by the way. Tennessee Tech's getting 25.5 in Athens. What? Give me the points all day here. I know Tennessee Tech's ass, but that's a huge number. Mac, what are we doing here?
I'm taking the points too. I'll take Pelfrey. Who did Georgia drill the other day in their exhibition game?
I saw that tweet. Yeah,
they murdered UCF.
Yeah, yep.
Bieniek?
I'm going Georgia. They're one of my sleeper teams that I liked, but the issue is they're young, so not going to back them early in the year.
All right, West Georgia new to
Welcome
the
to
D1
D1
level. Yes, they're heading to Stark Vegas to take on Mississippi State. Mississippi State's laying 25.5. Lay it. I might. You know what? Let's lock it. Let's lock this. This is a 54 to 21 final. Chris Jans, welcome to Chris Jans Defense. Mac, what are you doing here?
I am gonna lay with Mississippi State too. I think I'm with you. They're gonna hold them to like 30 points.
Shout out, by the way, we did mention Georgia. We forgot to mention Blue Kane, Clark's favorite white player. Yeah, he's fantastic. We all love Blue Kane.
West Georgia is going to get a nice welcome to D1 here. West Georgia was a pretty good D2 program. They were, I think they only had like 6 losses or something last year, but they lose 4 starters from that team, and they relied on the transfer portal. They went to the junior college ranks in the transfer portal to replace that production. I don't necessarily think that's going to be it. Mississippi State's got a lot of talent, but also a little early for me to play the Bulldogs here too. So I'm just going to lay the points with Mississippi State.
All right, Solo. Let's go.
I'm with you.
Oh, you're with me? Double lock. Let's go.
You're going to kill.
We got a little Shaheen Holloway classic here. St. Peter's, Seton Hall. Seton Hall's laying 13.5. Peacock's logo is fire right there. Seton Hall's logo questionable a little bit. I struggle with this one. I'm gonna lay the 13.5. Mac.
I'm going to take the points. I think that they lost so much in the portal, unfortunately, from that NIT team. And Mason's done a good job. Bashir Mason's done a good job quietly after Shaheen Holloway. They got to the tournament last year. So give me the points. Let the Peacocks fly.
Bieniek?
I'm with Mac on this one. 7 incoming transfers from Seton Hall. And St. Peter's has some returning production from last year. I think they keep it close. I don't think Seton Hall blew out St. Peter's last year, if my memory is correct. I'll double check that one.
All right, Texas
11
Southern.
points last year.
All right, there we go. So it's right around there. Texas Southern is heading into the Cintas Center to take on Xavier the Musketeers. Xavier's laying 22.5. Lay it, Mac. What are you doing here?
I'm going to lay it. No bet, just because Texas Southern has the experience in these games of keeping it within striking distance.
Bieniek?
I'm going to go Xavier. A lot of people are excited about this roster. And they typically blow these teams out in non-conference.
All right. We're going back to that random town in Ohio.
Yes, sir.
Geographically, where is this in Ohio?
I have no idea.
I was wondering the same thing.
We've got 117 games though, Colby.
It's true. It's true. We can do geographic. We can do geography on another episode.
I hate to shit on the party.
Right in between Columbus and Cincinnati.
Okay. Well, look, both these teams lost their coaches and their best players, so I'll take the points. Give me the 6.5. They're also closer. I don't have much more analysis than that. Mac, what are you doing here?
I took the points too. Yeah, this is a fascinating game. Schertz goes over to St. Louis. May goes over to Michigan. Now you get Jacobs and Graves. So we'll see how these new head coaches do. Take the points.
Bieniek?
I'm higher on Florida Atlantic this season than Indiana State with John Jacobs, who has been the offensive mastermind with Baylor recently. They bring in Baba Miller from Florida State, so that's a really interesting piece along with like 7 other transfers on this roster. So I'm going to take the Owls.
All right, the golf course, Binghamton, heading to State College, Pennsylvania. Penn State's laying 19.5. I'm going to lay the 19.5, but I love the golf course. So no lock. Mac, what are we doing here?
I'm going to lay it too. I think Binghamton's going to be really bad this year. Penn State, year 2 of Mike Rhodes gets off to a good start.
Yeah, I'm laying it with Penn State too.
All righty. Missouri, Memphis. Woo! Memphis laying 4.5. No. Lock up Missouri. Plus the points. Remember that money line on my guy Dennis Gates? I like what he did in the portal last year. Was just, things went downhill. Great first season. Missouri gets it done here. Mac?
I'll join you, man. I think Missouri's live here. Memphis won at Missouri last year. I think Missouri might return the favor here. Give me the Tigers.
Lock, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Let's go. Bieniek, you're on mute.
God damn it, dude. I am going to lock it with you guys. This is going to be a triple lock. I'm not high on either one of these situations, but Cocktail Napkin does have Missouri +2 in this one. Very senior-led backcourt. Tony Perkins transfers in from Iowa. Caleb Grill, Tamar Bates. Mark Mitchell comes in from Duke. It's a solid 4. I think Missouri has more saneness instead of the craziness at Memphis right now. Memphis, the FedEx Forum is going to be a bubbling cauldron because if anything negative happens in this game, it's going to be plastered all around the media, around the city. So give me Missouri. I'm with Mac. I think they return the favor and then they win this thing outright.
Hit me with another tough. The vocab coming from Bieniek with these glasses. Fantastic. We got a triple lock at the FedEx Center Forum, wherever the fuck. Take the
second triple lock of the day.
All right. Coppin State is heading to Winston-Salem. They're catching 31. I know we're high on Steve Forbes' Wake Forest team, but 31 points is gigantic.
This is a funny comment from St. George Kirby. I'm sorry about this, but he goes straight up cannibalism. Tigers on Tigers crime.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like that. Give me Coppin State +31. It's just too much. They're going to call off the Dogs. You're laying
We always say that. These guys know the fucking number, man. Yeah. They always cover these big ass numbers.
I'm going to lay it.
Come on, Larry Stewart. You're laying it too. Damn.
Yep.
Damn. You guys are just Delaware State's heading to Blacksburg. Virginia Tech's laying 18.5. Good God. I'll lay it. I don't like it. Mac.
This game's awful. I'll take the points. Mike Young seems to never blow anybody out.
Bieniek?
I'm going to lay it with Virginia Tech. Not much positive things to say about either team at this point right now.
Lehigh is heading to Evanston. They're catching 16. I watched way too much Lehigh last year. I'll lay the 16. Lehigh. I'm 41 and I feel like I might be able to play for Lehigh. I'll lay the 16. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's a lay for me. I like Northwestern, man. I know Boo Booey's gone, but I think it's a good program.
Bieniek?
I'm laying the points with Northwestern as well.
Lafayette is heading to Philly to take on Nova. Nova's laying 20.5. Little cat battle here. Give me the points. Give me the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
What do we know about Kyle Neptune? They play up to their competition, then they play down to their competition. Give me the points as well, especially if he's in state battles. He shit the bed last year multiple times in those games.
Yeah. Bieniek?
100% right there with Mac. Also, just a note, Ken Pom has Villanova ranked 20th in the nation. They are not the 20th best team in the country. The KenPom line was 22. This number has been bet down a little bit. Just a good nugget there, by the way.
Yeah, and the chat's talking a lot about the Nova logo. They need to go back to that. That's when they you remember that bullshit scandal by the racist ass NCAA when they Kerry Kittles got suspended for like a season for using a calling card. Bullshit. Absolute. I'm still mad at the NCAA for that. Guy's like calling his girlfriend long distance. And it's like, oh, he's a piece of shit. They labeled him as like I don't know if you guys remember this, but like because this was a long time ago, but they tried to label him as like a thug for using an illegal calling card given to him. It was one of the worst fucking moments in the history of the NCAA, in my opinion. Anyway, glad that they're hopefully not as racist these days. Nova, they're a mess, but go back to that logo. That's a good start. SEMO is heading to Bradley. I've always been a sucker for Bradley basketball, but 20.5 is a huge number. It's a huge number. I know SEMO's ass. Give me SEMO. Mac?
I'm with you. I'll take SEMO. Bradley wins by 18.
Yeah, this is a lot of points for Bradley basketball. I'm going to take the points.
Moving forward, it's the Citadel. That's a fire logo. Hey, am I crazy? They play every opening game. I feel like I bet this. I feel like I bet this 2 years ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago, and they actually won on the money line. And then I did it again, and BC actually covered. Give me the points all day here.
Yeah,
let's go Bulldogs. Mac,
I'll take the points too. I'm not liking 16.5 with BC.
Bieniek?
I'm just double checking. So they played the second game of the year last year, where they Citadel lost by 4.
Okay, yeah. So then it was so I hit on that, and I think they played
like I checked like 3 years prior too. I didn't see
them
again.
They lost to Maine. They lost to Maine.
Oh, yes. That's what I'm thinking. Okay,
we had the Cocaine Bears against Boston College.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I've deleted a lot of brain cells since then. We're all on the Citadel.
No, I'm going to go Boston College. I think the talent is not there for the Citadel. They're very, very young.
All right. Fairfield is heading to Rhode Island. Kingston catching 10.5. Something about this Fairfield team. Give me the points, Mac.
I'll take the points too, man. I thought Casey did a great job last year, and man, Archie Miller, year 3, big year for him.
The heat is on.
Yeah, they got to get it going.
Yes, Fairfield, the best team in Connecticut. You know about them. You know about them, folks. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I'm gonna ram it. Not much positive about either one of these teams in a handicap. So let's just move on.
Bieniek taking the Rhode Island. All right, moving forward. Okay, let's have a moment about this. First off,
this is the what the fuck game of the day.
Yes. First off, fuck you, Iowa State. All right.
Incredible.
Well, you've done this a lot of times with Mississippi State on the schedule. I know this has happened.
They play them all the time.
Now, at the same time, I think we should take a moment to one of the greatest logos ever. And look,
it's incredible.
The SWAC logos with Arkansas Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State. Flawless. I mean, there's some other fire ones too, but this logo is absolute gold. Put this on your center court and make it big. That logo's fire. I feel like I'm reading a fucking comic book. Having said all that, I think we should consider looking up Iowa State minus 42.
Absolutely. They're gonna this has got 90-30 written all over it.
We should bet this. We should actually bet this. 42.
Yes.
So a lot of this same core for Iowa State played last year, right? So Green Bay, they beat Green Bay by 41.
Yeah.
They beat Lindenwood by 55.
Oh.
They beat Idaho State by 31, and they beat Grambling State by 55. So they covered this shit fest 3 out of the first 4 games last year. Then they played Prairie View A&M. They won by 51. Then they played Florida A&M. They won by 32. Then they played Eastern Illinois. They won by 32. So they are guilty of just fucking skewing the net. But
here we go.
They blow the fuck out of these teams.
Yeah, this is just lock it up with this 42. They're skewing the net. Lock it up when they win by 60. And the HBCU, shout out to Myron Kidd and the HBCU logos. They are fire. They just kill it. I tried to explain this the other day that there's something just about the logos that are just better. They're better than every other conference.
I'm going to lock it up with you guys too.
Oh, he did a deep dive. He went to a 30. What just sold you right there? I'm sure it wasn't my logo rant.
What sold me was just how bad Mississippi Valley State's going to be this year. They're going to be brutally bad. Once again, I know
this has got to be our largest triple lock. This has got to be our largest triple lock ever.
We haven't had a Houston game yet this year because remember Houston would just annihilate.
True. We got a triple lock on Iowa State against the fire ass logo of the Delta Devils.
Team leaders asking how many points do the Delta Devils score?
30.
Yeah, I think so too.
36.
No, guys.
25. It's like St. Mary's
25.
against Santa Claus State last year.
25 points. Maryland Eastern Shore is heading to Vanderbilt in that stupid ass stadium. Hey Vanderbilt, you're building a new you're building onto your football stadium. Can you have the construction people come over to the basketball arena and put the floor further down so normal people can enjoy the game that pay for front row seats? You fucking losers. You got all this Anderson Cooper blood money. All right. And Skip Bayless. Come on. You can't get a normal fucking court. Vandy's laying 25.5. I can't take them on general principle just because of that, but Eastern Shore definitely struggled. But give me the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll lay with Byington, but I'm not betting this. I mean, Eastern Shore's bad now. I mean, they are terrible.
True. And they need to
anchor down with the Vandy boys. I'm laying it too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just doing this because the stadium's the same. All right. I'll be honest. I'm not betting this game.
Go check out that Mark Byington interview that just got posted on the college experience too.
Fantastic stuff. Eastern Illinois with this creepy ass Panthers spying on you.
That's great.
They're heading into Champaign. Illinois is laying 25.5. They crush these teams. I feel like every year I take the bait. I'm not doing it this year. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm laying the 25.5. Mac, what are you doing here?
Remember the football game, the first week of the year when they absolutely housed them? I think the same thing happens again. EIEIO is going to take it on the chin here.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I think Illinois needs to make a statement as well. They're a really, really young team, and they got housed by Ole Miss in a preseason scrimmage. So, I'm with the team. Brad Underwood just absolutely takes a shit on Eastern Illinois. Last year, they beat them 80-52.
Yeah.
87-57 the year before, too.
Look at this game.
West Point, New York. Albany, bravo. We talked about the great logos. Albany, you're there. You've done it. Albany is catching 1.5 in West Point. Albany, if you only made your basketball teams like you made your logos. I got to take Army here. I think Army's better.
Colby,
Mac,
you know who's
here?
playing for Army this year, right? Our boy Jalen Rucker's back.
Rucker's back.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't know where he went.
Well, should we lock Army?
I am locking Army because
as Clark says,
Albany is a fade here.
Albany, buddy.
Albany, whatever. Fade. Just fade.
Mac,
don't fade the troops.
You know me, man. I gotta lock my guys from Army. Kevin Kuick was on the show. You know, I love Army.
Let's do a parlay. Navy and Army.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I'm too excited to play Navy.
I wish I could play Real American, but last time I got kicked off of YouTube and.
I love the Patriot League.
Yeah, let's go. Holy Cross, fucking Holy Cross. It's heading to Madison. They're laying. Wisconsin's laying 25.5. I think we should lay it because I watched way too much Holy Cross last year. For some reason, I watched a large amount of their season. I think I bet if you did a deep dive on my life, I'm going to go ahead and say I probably watched 25 out of the 30 games from Holy Cross last year. Don't ask me why. I kind of got fascinated. They had this gigantic black center that had an afro. It was like their best player. The rest of the team was fucking horrible. And I was fascinated by it because it was almost like they had their own little shack. And they suck. Lay it. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll lay it. I spoke too soon. I'm fading the Patriot League in this game. Holy Cross is bad.
Bieniek?
I'm going to take the points with Holy Cross.
No.
Wisconsin's a team that I want to see to believe early in the year. Cameron Hunter missed last year due to injury, but he's the starting point guard for Wisconsin. He comes in from Central Arkansas. That's a gigantic step up. Here, Holy Cross, it is what it is, but it's his first game in over a year due to injury. So there's just a lot of unproven pieces on this Wisconsin team that I'm not psyched about to run to the window to back. So Holy Cross on the points.
Damn it, we're only on 68. Slide 60. UT Martin.
This slate sucks. Like as much as I love having college basketball back, can they spread it out a little bit? Like, geez.
Yeah. UT Martin's got a fire logo though. These goggles looks like fucking Orlando Woolridge. UT Martin is catching 12.5 in Normal, Illinois, which I went to once. It's very normal. Yeah. Don't go. You don't need to go there unless you're catching a game. Actually, I think I got drunk and had a good time. Actually, more I think about it. I'll take the points of the Skyhawks. All right. I mean, you make a logo like that. Damn it. Where the hell's my soundboard? Timing's ruined. Anyway, Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll lay it with Ryan Pete, and I think it's a big year. UT Martin, new coach. We'll see. Brand new roster. We'll see how they do.
Bieniek?
Yeah, I want to be high on UT Martin. I like Jeremy Schulman coming in. He was just a flat out winner at the JUCO level, but this is an entire transfer portal team from junior college. Whereas Illinois State has a lot of continuity. This is actually one of my favorite plays of the day.
Wow.
Give me the Redbirds here at home in Normal, Illinois. I think Peenan has a very good year this year, and it starts off with a big win on opening night against just a new team.
Bieniek locking up the Illini State.
Illini State.
Yes.
Cocktail Napkin has this thing at 15.5, by the way.
Orlando Woolridge is talking to me though, dude. Southern Indiana, the Screaming Eagles taking on DePaul, the Blue Demons. Hey, DePaul, you got to go back to this logo because it is. There's acid involved with this. DePaul is laying 13.5. Hey, I mean,
this is a live dog, man.
We got it right.
Yeah, you just do
Cocktail Napkins got this one at +10 too. High on Southern Indiana this year.
I love my Screaming Eagles.
They're supposed to be pretty good. They're supposed to.
Let's like this. Good. You gotta lock it. Screaming Eagles plus 13.5.
Great goal.
Who the hell is DePaul to be? I understand you got the coaching change. 13.5? No. Is that a triple lock?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Triple lock on the Screaming Eagles. Let's see if I can fuck this up. No. Here we go. Screaming Eagles, triple lock.
Shout out to Chris Holtman. I think it's a good long-term hire, but game one. Eesh.
Florida A&M, once again, to continue the great logos. Guys, can we just be honest?
Once again, to continue the Big 12 beating up on the SWAC.
The SWAC logos are fucking phenomenal.
Hey, we're trying to fund their athletic departments, though. Cut them some slack.
Absolutely phenomenal logos. TCU's laid 27.5. I'll lay it. Mac.
I'll lay it too. TCU did just beat Arkansas, so for whatever that's worth. But yeah, I'll lay it here. FAMU, a lot of unknown.
I'm laying it with the Frogs too.
Eastern Michigan and Texas State and San Marcos. Texas State laid 7.5. You know I can't leave my boys alone right there. Give me EMU plus 7.5. No lock.
I think I agree with you. Take the points, no bet.
Bieniek?
I'm going to lay the points. I don't think Eastern Michigan's it. They should be much better than they are.
We got to get your Michigan rankings tomorrow night. Howard,
not tomorrow
Kansas.
night because we're gonna have to recap 117 games. Maybe Wednesday night going into Thursday.
Howard, is that Kansas 25.5? Lay it with Kansas. Sorry, Howard. I'm rooting for you. Mac.
Kansas big lock.
Scratch this. The Big 12's beaten up on a lot of historically black colleges.
Yeah. What's that angle? Is this like?
I don't know.
I didn't realize there were this many. I think
you didn't realize this has been going on for years, Matt.
I mean, they all the big schools beat up on the SWAC and BX schools. I mean, look at all their schedules. It's like the freaking Chicago State schedule.
The Big 12's been doing this for 2 or 3 years.
Well, there's one angle of like your funding, but I don't know. It is weird.
The Big 12 actually beats up on them. The ACC, they get like upset by them every now and then.
It manipulates the net, and like Max said, it helps fund a lot of these athletic programs for all these HBCUs and SWAC teams and whatever.
Noah's buying into that fake narrative, manipulating the net.
Rock chalk, lay it. Let's go.
Mac lock this. Kansas minus 25.5. I might too. I don't know. I got to think about it. I root for Howard. DC, come on. But I don't know. Wichita State. This game is probably my favorite game on the whole fucking board.
This line is all over the place too. Shop around.
I love both these fan bases. They do college basketball right. Western Kentucky's laying 1. I will take that logo. These logos are fucking absolutely awesome. Job well done. I'm going to take the Tops. You know, they kept the coaching continuity by hiring the assistant. Drawing a blank on his name right now because I've been talking for 2 hours. Plona. But Plona. Nothing against Paul Mills there, but I think the Tops home court environment is the difference in this one and the continuity. Give me the Tops -1. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, man, this is honestly maybe the most underrated game of the night. Both of these teams have a lot coming back as well. But that place is going to be on fire. I'm going to lock up the Tops. I'll do it. I'll do it just because I want to watch this game. Even though I'm going to be at a game, this is one that I'm going to probably rewatch when I come home. Let's go. Bieniek?
I'm not going to lock it, but give me WKU. They have 8 seniors in that rotation. They're very old, and there's some continuity here. Shout out to WKU hiring from within and keeping this team around.
Yeah, I think it's a good hire too. Yep. Akron, Arkansas State, Sunbelt, MAC Challenge. Arkansas State supposed to be good this year. They're laying 6.5 against Akron. No. Give me the Zips and the points. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lay it with Arkansas State. I'm high on Arkansas State. I think it's a bait to take Akron based off of name. Lay it in Jonesboro.
Yeah, and Akron's a portal roster. A lot of high majors transferring in, but at the same time, Arkansas State, I think they win this thing at home and they cover.
All right. Central Michigan is catching 5.5 at South Alabama.
Who knows?
Give me South Alabama minus 5.5. It's a strange trip. You're down there like the fucking Gulf of Mexico. Don't bet this game, Mac.
When in doubt, I always just go against those shit MAC schools in Michigan. So South Alabama for me.
Bieniek?
I remember once upon a time last year, I was like, what the fuck is Central Michigan going to do down in the South for a week or whatever? They went down and beat South Florida, who won the American last year. Yes, so Central, don't doubt it. Just take the points.
Bowling Green, Southern Miss. This is fun. Give me Southern Miss minus 3.5. Mac?
Yeah, this is fringe lock. Check the picks page. I like Southern Miss. I know Curbelo is always a wild card, but they're old. So I like the home court there too.
Bieniek?
I'm going to take Todd Simon's bunch and BGSU. So give me the points.
Quinnipiac, the Aqueduct is heading to New Haven. Take on Yale.
This is a great game.
Yale is laying 7.5, and I don't think they're going to get it done. Give me the Aqueduct plus 7.5. Mac?
I'm going to go Yale. No, not a lot of confidence out here.
Bieniek?
I am also going to lay it with Yale. I think this number is lower than it should because they lost Danny Wolf from last year. But they returned Poulakaitis, who I think is a very solid player. So give me the Bulldogs.
You guys are loving the private school pussies. Have fun with that.
Beat Auburn.
True. I think I took the points, right? I think I did. Yeah, Texas A&M Commerce is catching 31.5 at Iowa. What? Give me the points. I feel like what's that?
Iowa blows these teams out too.
They do, but I'm taking the points. I'm taking the damn points.
Okay.
I can't lay 31.5 with Staples. At least I tell myself that. Mac?
I'll lay it.
That sounded convincing.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be between 30 and 35.
North Dakota 110-68. Alabama State 98-67. North Florida 103-78. Florida A&M 88-52. UMBC 103-81. Northern Illinois 103-74. Iowa beats the shit out of these teams.
Who beat them? Someone got up and beat them.
Yeah,
Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
Years ago.
That random ass game.
This is the EIU of this year.
Eastern Illinois over Iowa was the biggest upset of the year in I think 2023.
Yeah.
Kent State, the Golden Flashes are heading into Lafayette, part of that Max Sunbelt Challenge. Kent State's laying 1.5. This is a fun game. I'm gonna lay the 1.5. Mac?
Yeah, you know me, man. I love Kent. I think they're right there at the top of the MAC again with Rob Senderoff. Runs a good program. I'll take the Golden Flash here. I think they're a little bit better than Louisiana.
Bieniek?
I'm going to go with Raging Cajuns, but either or. I'm not very convicted on either side.
The Blue Hose of Presbyterian. Fucking William Wallace here.
That's an incredible logo. I did not know that's what a Blue Hose was.
This is a great logo battle. You got this guy at Charlotte with the fucking hammer. Oh no, that's a pickaxe, right?
And a pair of pants that say 49.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This one is just it's just great logos here. Charlotte's laying 13. I'm gonna lay it because Presbyterian's ass. Mac, what are you doing here?
Same handicap. Give me Charlotte. Presbyterian, I'm not believing.
Make it 3. Fade them hoes.
I thought about betting this.
It's tempting. Just picks page.
Yeah. Mercyhurst. Welcome to Mercyhurst. As
Welcome
they
to D1.
enter, D1, and now they head on to DC to take on the George Washington Colonials. The George Washington Colonials with this logo that needs to be. Let's be honest. Can we have a conversation? I know we're 2.5 hours in, but you think George Washington could have had game, like on the basketball court? I would want to know which former president do you think would win in a game of 21? You go. I mean, the obvious one. It can't be anyone in the 2000s.
Colby.
It can't be anyone in the 2000s. All right, you got to go before the 2000s.
What? You don't think Barack Obama was?
Of course, that's the obvious one. Right? That's the obvious one. I even say pre-Clinton. Because Clinton probably could shoot some. Right?
Yeah.
Pre-Clinton.
All right, now you're dating me, dude.
Pre-Clinton, who's Abraham Lincoln? He was like 6'10", and everyone was like 5'2" back then. Abraham Lincoln was the Shaq of the presidents.
What about Taft? He was a big boy.
Taft. Yeah,
Taft had a little Charles Barkley.
He could throw the weight around in the paint for sure.
Dude, let's talk about this George Washington logo. Why is this not their center court?
I don't know.
This is fucking fantastic. It looks like a volleyball, but I'm going to lay the 16.5 with George Washington, even though they're on my shit list. Mac, what are you doing here?
I think I'm going to take the points. GW's got a whole new roster. I think it takes a minute to mesh. Let's go Mercyhurst.
Shout out to Avetta in the chat. Ulysses S. Dant, great answer there. Bieniek, you going to you grabbing Mercyhurst or what?
I'm gonna lay the points, but my question is, so Mercyhurst, welcome to the hospital clan. Another one?
That is another one. That is definitely
all right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the hospital.
Yeah, let's go.
The Pennsylvania hospital, I believe, or they're New York. What are they?
They're Pennsylvania, Erie, Pennsylvania, I believe.
Okay. Yeah,
well. True story. Motormouth Jones wouldn't let me open up for him because I cursed in Erie, Pennsylvania. Yeah, fun time. Cleveland State is taking on Michigan. Michigan is laying 20.5. This is just a row. Look at these Vikings. I don't know what the hell they're doing with this logo. Is that supposed to be like intimidating?
That thing looks straight out of Raft Wars, the internet online game.
I'm taking, dude. I'm on the points.
Yeah,
lock it up. Let's go, Bieniek. 20.5. Dusty made my ass. All right. Mac, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I'll take Cleveland State. Lock it up.
Lock. There we go.
Michigan wins by 15.
Do we got a battle?
No, I'm not locking Michigan. I've said it for all these other teams. I'm not gonna just take my team and completely throw all that other logic out the window. It's a new coach, brand new roster. There's like 9 players coming in from the transfer portal. However, I think the talent difference is tremendous, and Michigan's going to drain a lot of threes on Cleveland State. They blew out Oakland in a preseason game. I know it's preseason, but whatever. Oakland lost 92-48 to Michigan in a preseason game. So,
UT Rio Grande. See, this fat ass guy from Nebraska, I don't think he could play basketball. That's like, I mean, even Big Country looks at that and goes, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I don't even know who to compare that to. I'm trying to. It's like a fat Jack Sigma. I don't know. Nebraska's lay at 24.5. Give me the Mexicans plus 24.5 to ride up in there. They can cover this.
Yeah, I'll take the Mexicans.
Bieniek?
I'm going to lay with Nebraska. I don't really have too much of a reasoning for it, but GBR.
All right, moving along. Once again, another fire logo from the SWAC.
Once again, another SWAC team playing against
That's
Big
true.
12.
That is true.
Lock this right now. This is going to be covered.
I like Mo Williams, but you're right. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Mo Williams better play to keep.
You're right. You're right. Lock Houston minus 35.5 against Jackson State. He's right.
Last year, Houston beat Jackson State by 44, 89-55.
That's it.
89 to 55. That's actually 34.
Yeah.
My math was wrong there.
Collect that paycheck. That's a triple lock.
No, I'm not locking.
No? Okay, no. Double lock. Lipscomb. I got a lock here.
This is a fun game.
Yeah. Wrong team favored. Agreed. Lipscomb is going to win in Pittsburgh. All right, you fuck with the bull, you get the horns against Duquesne. Let's go. Mac?
Yeah, I love Lipscomb coming into this year out of the A-Sun. I think they're live to win the game, like you said, and I actually think they will win the game. So, yeah, wrong team favored Lipscomb. New coach for Duquesne.
Triple lock. Yeah, it's Drew Joyce III. He's had 5 years of assistant coach experience. Mac was like screaming to me like, this is red alert, not enough experience. This was hand-picked head coach choice from LeBron James. So, yeah, Lipscomb.
Triple lock. Sprinkle that money line.
For what it's worth, I don't want to shit on Joyce completely. He's won everywhere he's been. 2 NCAA tournament appearances with Cleveland State last year, NCAA tournament appearance with Duquesne. But game 1 of his head coaching career, I don't think it's going to go swiftly against Lipscomb that returns a lot of talent that can shoot the 3 ball like hell. So. Yeah.
It's a brutal opener for Joyce.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I got a lock for you guys. Long Island Sharks are heading to Oxford, Mississippi.
I'm so glad the college basketball season's back.
The fucking Sharks went out and got Chicago State's head coach. The green guy. He knows how to coach basketball. He knows how to coach fucking basketball, and now we go down there and take on this racist fuck. Look at this character here. Let you tell what the hell. The Sharks are gonna come down there and take care of business. I'm telling you right now. I already talked to several people about this at the construction site the other day, and let me tell you, the Sharks are gonna go down there. They're gonna teach the fucking beautiful people of Biloxi or Mississippi, wherever the fuck this game's at. Oxford. All right, trying to act like they're all snobby. Oxford, I heard about your thing, the Grove. Well, the Sharks are coming down there and they're going to bite. Chris Beard, you better go hit another broad, all right? Because I'm telling you, we're going to come down there, we're going to bite. Give me the Sharks. Lock it up. Give me the points. It's disgusting. This line is just disrespectful to what the Sharks have built. Let's go.
What did they build?
They built shit, all right? They built up my bankroll. And it started with Rod Strickland. Let's go. What are you doing here, Mac?
Battle. Ole Miss is going to win by 40. Chris Beard, they ain't fucking around down there, baby. Let's go. It's my sleeper in the SEC.
Oh, my God. Got to call the fucking police again, have this girl go retract her story, all right? Actually, I'd done that a couple times. Joking, but Battle Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Lay the points. I'm not betting it though.
These logos, fire though, right?
Incredible.
South Florida, going on in Jacksonville, Florida. This game, neutral site, and it's absolutely horrible.
How did you? Hold on, before we even get into this, how did you plan this? Because you put these slides together. You wanted to go from
no.
Well, that they started.
No,
the same time.
I don't make up a thing and go with the games I like. I follow the score app so that I can stay on.
Oh, this is
so if I lose my place, I know where the fuck I'm at.
Such a high to such a low. Like
to think that I would do that though, you filthy fuck. To think that I would go to the Long Island Sharks and then go to.
I don't think that. Oh gosh, how did you not let's throw a game in between these two? Oh man.
Well, I mean, you build the
Scrambling
slides.
out 100 of them, and he didn't.
I know. You act like I'm sitting there thinking about this when I'm just following the fucking slides. You really make me out to be a true piece of shit.
You just called Ole Miss's logo racist.
He looks fucking. They don't. You're telling me Mississippi's clean in its fucking history? What the fuck?
He wants some HBCUs on his schedule.
Yeah,
Yes, he
I
does.
mean, what are we doing here? Anyway, South Florida, obviously, recently. Did you guys dive into this story, by the way? Because Amir Abdul-Rahim tragically passed away during surgery. The brother of Sharif Abdul-Rahim, and he's just a rising star in the game.
Yeah. Ben
Fletcher's taking over as the head coach, but I didn't even want to do it. It sounds bad. I didn't want to do a deep dive on the story because I was really bummed out by this news, and I didn't even want to click on it because it bothered me. I was like, I can't believe this happened. Does anyone know if that, like, what exactly did he have, like an allergic reaction or something? That, because it wasn't major surgery, right?
What I heard was they were attempting life-saving surgery. It wasn't like something happened in surgery. It was something before.
Oh, okay. I just didn't. It's just horrible.
I was told it was a blood clot in his lungs, and then that's what the initial procedure was. But I don't know how true that was. But yeah, man, it's just the whole thing is just heartbreaking. Just take out the basketball, what he did at Kennesaw in South Florida.
Yeah.
He's what, 40 years old. He's got a family and
married, kids, just fucking horrible.
Rising star, man. Rising star, and just taken way too early from us, man.
Absolutely horrible. I gotta take South Florida here. They're gonna do it for him. I know he lost. They only have one returning starter, but they brought in his, a class that he likes. A couple guys from Kennesaw still on the team. Give me South Florida. Lock.
Yep.
Lock. Let's go.
Put me in that too. This could be a close game. They're going to play for him.
Let's go.
Hell of a game.
Let's go. Lock it up. Bieniek, you in? I know Florida's your boys.
No, I'm not going to bet it. I have no idea where the headspace is for any of these kids in this program, for any of the personnel in the program. I'm going to pick South Florida for the tragic magic angle, but just going to extend my thoughts and prayers again towards the program and everybody close with AAR, because just a terrible situation. So
really, really horrible.
Yeah.
Really horrible.
Like Avetta's saying, Avetta's going to be at this game. I hope they do something pregame to show their.
I'm sure they will. I would think that they would, but yeah, that was horrible stuff. Best wishes to him, his family, and
all of our thoughts from SGPN and TCE.
100%. Moving along, we got to move along. There's no way to make this seamlessly go smooth. This is the Tarleton Texans and the SMU Mustangs. All right, doing battle.
That's a donkey, not a Mustang.
SMU's laying 15.5. I'm on Billy Gillespie and Tarleton to cover this. I think SMU, great coaching hire, but at the same time, it's game one. Give me the culture play despite Tarleton losing their starting five. What are you doing here, Mac?
That's why I took SMU in the end. I just think Tarleton, I love Gillespie. I think they're going to be really good at the end of the year just because he's such a good coach, but I'll lay SMU on opening night.
Tarleton's the 7th youngest team in the Division I level. SMU just overhauled some talent through the transfer portal. They get a new head coach this offseason. I think SMU makes a statement. This is a lock for me. Minus 15.5. Give me the ponies.
Bieniek locking up the SMU Mustangs.
Job talking about the donkey.
Yeah,
it's a donkey.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I've never
Marquette.
seen this.
Marquette
I've never seen this logo.
is hosting Stony Brook. The Sea Wolves.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
I mean, I gotta lay it.
Yeah,
I gotta lay it
too. Man, they're gonna Marquette's another one that they drill these teams early in the year.
Yeah. Let's go Golden Eagles there.
Yeah, I'm
Bieniek,
taking Marquette too. Lay the points.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, what are we at? How do we have this many games? This is fantastic. You know me, I love regionality.
Great game.
We got a city battle going on here.
Yeah.
Chicago State, our team,
the World Tour.
Start your football program. I hear there's rumblings. Let's go. They got a conference now. They're in the NEC, the Northeast Conference, and they're in Chicago. Welcome to college sports. They're hosting. Look at this old Loyola. Don't you miss when that? You know what I mean? It's like
that
a fucking
looks like
Looney Tunes.
That looks straight out of Looney Tunes or Disney, like one of those goofy characters.
That's what I'm
Goofy
saying.
From Disney.
Campy works. No one does it right anymore. That's why the Creamsicle Buccaneers works. You know what I mean? But they don't bring it back. They have that bullshit one. Chicago's getting 20. Chicago State this is a ridiculous line, right?
Well,
20 points.
Chicago State,
Yes,
right?
lock.
Yeah.
Lock.
I don't know.
Loyola
If
scores like
Chicago,
44 points a game.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll put up enough points to cover it.
Spinelli's gonna have those guys playing. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna
double
pass.
lock.
I'm betting it, but give me Chicago State.
Double lock on our Cougs. Cal State Fullerton is taking on Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon, you need to call Arkansas Pine Bluff for a logo, you fucking losers. Just was that a newspaper clipping? Grand Canyon's laying 19.5. The place gets lit though, but give me Fullerton in the points, 19.5. What the hell's going on? It's a gigantic number. I don't think Fullerton's that bad. Mac?
I'll lay with Grand Canyon. I think they're pretty bad.
I think they're pretty bad.
And that place is fucking hard to play at.
It is. That's the sneaky angle for me of like, I think they can stay within that number a while, but if they go on a run,
Yep.
But Bieniek, what are you doing here?
Laying it with Grand Canyon.
Southern is taking on South Dakota. No line here. We couldn't find a line on this game, but once again, I just want to highlight. I want to highlight the SWAC's fire ass logos. Anyone got a line on this? Let me know. If not, I don't even know who wins this. Give me Southern to win this game.
You know what? I think the HBCU, one of them's going to win tomorrow. I think this would be the one that they're going to.
So South Dakota would be favored by 3 if we're picking this off KenPom. I think Southern covers and possibly wins.
I'm with you. Southern wins outright. I got a lock here. Eastern Washington's catching 17.5. I'm locking up Eastern Washington.
Okay.
17.5? Colorado's whole
I thought
team
you were
left.
going with your Buffs.
No. I'm not a fool. All right. E-Dub's covering this, Mac. Coming?
No, I'm going to lay with Colorado. Here's the thing.
They joined the Big 12, and this guy's all of a sudden a Buffs guy.
Oh, let's go. E-Dub has less coming back than Colorado somehow.
That's true.
Still, it is like you can't tell me 17.5.
This is the elevation. Come on, Big 12. You gotta cover this, Colorado. You're
Colby, for opening night, can we get the guy on at Buffalo just as resemblance imagery? All the NBA players that they lost, and still they didn't get to the second.
Don't remind me.
Watch him go down to Buffalo. Oh no, it's a guy on a Buffalo.
All right, moving along.
I'm laying it with Buffalo or with the Buffaloes too.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
No. I would have killed you if you would have said I was locking Colorado. I would have. I don't know what I would have done, but I'll lay the points with Colorado. It's just you can't lock it.
Elon, this weird ass eagle. What the hell kind of? They're
Phoenix.
catching 27. Oh yeah, that's right. Right. Okay. I don't know what that really means, but okay. 27.5. I'll lay it with Carolina. Mac?
I think I'll lay it with Carolina too. They fucked around last year on opening night. They'll be focused this year.
Yeah. Bieniek?
Yeah, I'm gonna lay it too.
It almost looks like a fucking UFO or something. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Like it's that it's like
Phoenix.
Star Trek. It's like fucking Star Trek.
It looks like a Sun Devil fork.
Guess Lindenwood is getting 25.5 at Oklahoma. Lay it.
Lay it.
I might even bet this. No, I can't. I don't think I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry.
Oklahoma's not going to be favored in too many games this year, so they might run this thing up.
Yeah. Lay it. UNC Asheville. Take it on Alabama. Alabama's lay it.
This is a lock. This is a lock for me. Asheville always gets killed in these bye games.
So
yeah.
Can I mention? I totally agree with you. Asheville gets destroyed. In general, the Big South gets wrecked in non-conference. Yeah. But Alabama has 3 starters that are going to be on. They're not playing the entire game. They're hurt right now.
Interesting.
It is Grant Nelson, Right Cell, and somebody else, and they're on like minutes restraint or something.
You still got Mark Shears. I'll lay it. Lock it.
I'll join you. It doesn't matter. Even their backups. Okay.
They are one of the deepest teams in the country.
Yeah. I'll join you. Lay it. Roll Tide. Alcorn State.
This is another what the fuck game of the day.
Yeah. And this is another what the fuck logo of the day. Like, how can the SWAC be so fire and then Alcorn State roll this thing out? This the whole conference is fire, and then they just put this lazy ass logo out there. Utah's laying 21 points. Lay it. Lock. They're covering this.
I think I agree with you. Utah, member of the Big 12, they got the memo. Get the HBCUs on the schedule.
Bieniek?
Incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna lay it with Utah. No bet.
Oh, lock that up. Lock it up. Like, I feel like Alcorn State's logo looks like if you're watching like
they're the Braves, Rob.
If you're watching like just a shitty 90s movie, like an action movie, and they're trying to like hack into like they have to show computer software in the movie. You know what I mean? Like they're like, let's just say you're watching a movie and they got to hack into like a bank and they got to use computer software, and it's like centered around, you got to get through the software. This is what the software looks like. It pulls out, it like comes running at you on the screen. It's like Alcorn banking coming at you. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, if anyone's 3 hours into this, then
here we go.
Yeah,
there's 400 people watching right now. Everybody's sticking around.
It's crazy. Shout out to the 400 watching at 2 a.m, 8 Eastern time.
The Green Bay Phoenix have Doug Gottlieb, the radio host, and he's at halftime. A call-in show. The Phoenix are catching 18.5 in Stillwater. Lutz, new head coach coming over Western Kentucky. 18.5. I'm fascinated by this. I'm laying the 18.5, by the way. Mac, what are you doing here?
Yeah, welcome home. Gottlieb played at Oklahoma State too, so welcome home, and they're going to get their ass kicked. Cowboys, lay it.
Lock it.
I think it is a lock.
No, I'm not locking this. I'm not locking it.
This
Sympathy
is a
play.
really
They might call off the dogs.
No. Lutz doesn't care about Gottlieb. Let's get that straight. Lutz is out here to make a statement. This is a brand new team. It's an old team with plenty of talent. Green Bay is bringing in like a couple of junior college kids, and Gottlieb, who's never been on the sideline before as a head coach in the college basketball. Oklahoma State runs them out of the building. They don't have enough
for you guys.
There's not going to be enough time for them to put the foot on the brakes.
They're going to
double lock for
It's
Mac
going to be a
and
30-point
Bieniek.
game in the first half.
I'm not betting that. I'll take Oklahoma State. I'm not betting that. Sympathy play could be coming in.
That's one of my favorite.
Talk about it the next day on his radio show how he got fucking beat by 40 in Stillwater.
That's one of my favorite plays of the day.
Nichols is heading to the pit where everyone gets laid. New Mexico's laying 16. Lay it. Talked to Richard Pitino the other day. We got to lay it here.
This is French
Mac?
lock for me too.
Yeah.
Dude, those little guys struggle at the pit, man. This is another elevation game.
And lit as environment.
Yeah.
Noah, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lock it too. Nicholls State loses a good bit of production from last year, and Donovan Dent returns for New Mexico. I think he's actually going to be a little bit better without some other dogs in the backcourt like they had last year. He's really good as a ball dominant guard. We saw that with Mashburn and House injured last year. New Mexico is arguably better without those two. So Donovan Dent, New Mexico.
Sorry, I thought you were done. Triple lock, New Mexico.
Fourth triple lock of the day.
Do we stay with America here? Because Air Force is laying 4 in Colorado Springs against North Alabama. I'm going to lay the 4, no lock though. Mac,
I'm on the Lions, man. I like what they got coming back. Tony Pujo. I think the Lions are live here to win this game at Air Force.
Yeah, the only thing that nerves me is the elevation, but I'm on UNA as well.
All right, North Dakota is heading to Fort Collins. Nico Medved told me you got to get up there and then got to get up there for a game, Mac. We got to go out. He said he's going to take us to the best restaurants in town.
Oh yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Fort Collins is awesome too. Looks Colorado State's laying 16.5. I'll lay it. Mac?
I think I'll lay it too. North Dakota's bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I must not have gotten the invite here because I'm going to take North Dakota. This is all. I agree 100% with Rob Donaldson. Nico Medved has not had a good year without Isaiah Stevens. Give me the fighting hawk.
Dude, he's making me eat my fucking words here. I'm like 3 hours into a show here.
He's on fire tonight.
I know. You're invited to, buddy. I don't know if Spirit goes to Fort Collins. All right.
No, I'm just saying Nico didn't invite me because I'm not a Nico guy.
Damn.
It was Isaiah Stevens. That's my take until Nico shows me. I'm sticking to it 100%.
Sam, this game's actually pretty fire. Sam Houston State, Nevada. You know what? Me and Steve Alford are on good terms now. we talked it out at Mountain West Media Days.
Now Sam Houston wins outright.
I'm laying the 8.5 with Nevada. I think this is his best team yet.
So you got on good terms at Mountain West Media Day, I assume, but like the way you went out last year was not tremendous, right? I mean, they blew that game to Dayton. As soon as you sat down, they went on like a 27-4 run.
I went on a retreat. All right, when I was in Vegas, had some peyote, and then I went to Mountain West Media Days, and I talked to Coach, and we talked it out. So,
all right,
lay the 8.5 and lock it up.
Oh, that's bold.
I'm gonna lay it, but I'm not gonna lock it.
Lock it up. Let's go. I did talk to him about Bob Knight. I did.
We Sam Houston, lock this up. They're live.
Yes.
You're drinking that fucking Alfred Kool-Aid again.
Sam Houston returns almost everything from a Conference USA regular season championship last year. They're pretty good. I'm gonna lay it with Nevada.
We got a battle. Let's go. Game. How many more games? Western Illinois is taking on my guy Tim Miles in San Jose State. Give me Sparty minus the points. Leathernecks are ass. Mac.
The Leathernecks actually, for the most part, had a pretty good year last year. But I do agree with you. San Jose needs to bounce back in a big way. I think they get it done on opening night. Lay it.
Bieniek.
Taking the points with Western Illinois. I think it's too many. San Jose State is another brand new roster, new head coach. Actually, no, never mind. It's Miles. Never mind. I'm still not going to change my mind. I'm going Western Illinois.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I was thinking of Wyoming with
Sundance Wicks.
Sundance Wicks.
Vegas, Ohio State, Texas. Texas laid 2.5. Sounds disgusting.
This is a shit fest.
Hook 'em. I think Texas is just the more talented team. Both coaches, to me, I have questions about, but I'm high on Ohio State in the Big Ten. I just think game 1, the more talented team will prevail. Mac, what are you doing here?
I feel like I'm almost obligated to bet this by the end of the night tomorrow night. I think the Buckeyes are going to win. I actually trust the Buckeyes roster more. And like you said, man, Terry is such a crapshoot as a coach. I know Diebler is actually the main man now after getting it from the interim tag. But yeah, give me the Buckeyes. I trust their roster more.
Yeah, what's your new nickname for this guy, Colby? Diebler's Cookies?
Oh yeah. You ever had Keebler's cookies?
Yeah.
Let's play on that.
I think Ohio State has an injury or two. I think Aaron Bradshaw is hurt. I could definitely be wrong, but I'm not certain on that. The injuries were really, really hard to find prior to this show. I'm going to go with Colby. I'm going to go with Texas. There are a lot of good college basketball players on Texas' roster, whereas Ohio State, I don't love some of the pieces. I'll say that. They have Micah Parrish coming in who had a Final Four, but Bruce Thornton and Michi aren't my favorite players.
Yeah, Michi back, baby.
I did like that get. Incarnate Word is at Cal Baptist. Rob, I'm not talking anymore. Cal Baptist is laying 13.5. Lay it. I don't lay it. Yeah. Bieniek?
Yeah, I'll lay it with Cal Baptist too.
Towson, St. Mary's, nice little game we got in the nightcap here. Towson is catching 11.5. I'm going to take the 11.5. They're going to give them a game. St. Mary's wins by 7. Mac?
Yeah, I love Towson here. I think they're live. I'm going to lock it up.
I'll join you on that one.
Good coach.
I'll join you on that one. It's too many points.
You held the game.
I know it's.
I'm just going to take Towson. Just taking the points. No lock for me. It's still St. Mary's at Moraga.
Don't have a line on Utah Tech, Oregon State. Couldn't find that tonight. Who cares? Next, Chattanooga. It's heading to LA. Take on Eric Musselman. This Chattanooga logo is hilarious. Reminds me of like you go into lunch, 7th grade, and there's like some dude flipping burgers, shitty burgers. That's this guy right here, Chattanooga. Give me the points though. It's too many points for game 1 with all these transfers. Mac?
This is another lock. I think this is another live dog. I mean, we've seen Muss in the past struggle in these non-con games. They're trying to mesh a lot of pieces. Chattanooga's a good program, brings back a ton of production. Yeah, Chattanooga, lock it up. Sprinkle some on that money line.
Money line Mac locking it up. I'm not going there on the lock, but I'm with Chattanooga. I agree. Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I wouldn't say it's a ton of production, but Chattanooga returns their 2 best players from last year, Honor Huff and Trey Bonham. Both of them are stud guards. And we talked about this earlier with UNC Asheville. The Big South notoriously laid duds in the non-con. The SoCon threatens in the non-con. Chattanooga, I don't know if they're a live dog, but I think they cover this 14.5. No bet, because I think USC is really talented. But I like the 2 guards that Chattanooga has coming back this year.
Mike, Enfield was not fired. He left to SMU in their blood money. George Bush made a phone call. Canisius with this fire ass logo. Taking on Arizona. David Matola. Is he still 4 hours in watching?
He's got no excuse. It's only 11:19 for him.
Give me the points. I can't.
There he is.
I can't, this logo. I'm not betting this game.
Because football
man.
season ended a while ago.
Yeah,
For
it ended
Arizona.
like
My
week 2,
soul
right?
and liver needs Arizona basketball.
I'm laying it, man. They need some hope in Tucson after that football season. They're going to kill Canisius.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
This is a young and inexperienced Arizona team that has Caleb Love as its leader. Give me the points.
UC Riverside. Heading to Eugene, getting 16.5. Get the fuck out of here. Give me the points in Riverside. Riverside's decent.
I agree.
You're locking this with me?
Yeah, I'm all over some of these dogs late in the night. A lot of chalk early and then dogs up late. Late night dog.
Bieniek, what are you doing here?
I'm going to lay with Oregon. I think Shellstad's going to be a superstar this season. So I don't have much analysis on either one of these teams' first game of the season.
Ryder, the moving company's heading to Westwood. UCLA's laying 21.5. I will lay the 21.5 with UCLA. Mac?
I will lay it as well.
Bieniek?
I think it's slightly too many points for a Mick Cronin team without Jaime Jaquez and Tiger Campbell.
Cal Bakersfield catching 12.5 at Cal Berkeley. What am I missing here? I'm locking up Cal Berkeley.
What are you after?
I'm locking up Cal Berkeley. I think they're a lot better than Bakersfield. Lay the 12.5. Let's go. Let's drop acid. Tightwad Hill. Let's go. Mac, what are you doing here?
I'll lay it. No bet for me though.
Bieniek?
I'm relatively high on Cal for the upcoming season, but they have a lot of transfers. I'm not too excited about playing it on opening night, but the cocktail napkin has this thing at minus 21. Bakersfield not supposed to be amazing this season, and Mark Madsen, I think he's a tremendous coach over there at Cal, but it's an entire portal team, so I'm not going to pull the trigger, unfortunately.
Yeah. I will. I'll lock it up. Game of the night, game of the day. Baylor.
It almost
catching 5.5.
took us 3 hours to get there.
Good God. 5.5 points. Guys, Baylor's going to win this on the money line. Lock. 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 Give me the 5.5. Sprinkle that money line. All right. See you tomorrow night, folks. Late night. Mac, what are you doing here?
They are. So they're playing what in Seattle? Baylor's beat them 2 in a row now. The national championship. Then they beat them at the Pentagon. I think this is a Zags smash spot on opening night. I got the Zags in my national title. I'll battle you. Give me the Zags out west late night.
I'm gonna be on Mac's side of this battle. I'm also gonna take Gonzaga and lock them up. It's really interesting because Baylor brings in some studs from the transfer portal. Defense is going to be a little bit of a question mark for me with this Bears team this year. And also the entire, coaching staff, all the assistants seem to be leaving Scott Drew recently. And Baylor has taken a step back in postseason performance. I'll say that. It's not necessarily evident in regular season. But Gonzaga brings back so much experience, and the one hole, Alabama brings in Cliff to be the rim protector. The one hole for Gonzaga last year was shot creation, and they bring in Michael Ajayi and Khalif Battle from Arkansas to fill in that. So I think Gonzaga covers and wins.
It's not at the kennel. Not at the kennel.
It's in Spokane. It's a home game.
It's in Seattle.
It's in Spokane.
It's at that other one that they played Kentucky. I thought it was Seattle, but it's in the other Spokane, not Kennel.
The picture that we used on the thumbnail too. This is Spokane Arena.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to lose there. Battle. Let's go. Dundee with Baylor. Mac with the Zags. See ya tomorrow night, folks. That is our show. We made it through.
Real quick, Colby.
No, real quick.
for those that are looking for a little bit more analysis on some of the best games tomorrow, we'll be doing a pregame show. We've selected 10 games. We've got a a small panel that are going to be giving analysis for each day's best games during the midweek up until February. Then February, we might be going every single day pregame betting show here on the College Experience. It'll be Mac and or myself and Colby on some days, but mostly Mac and a rotating cast. It's going to be really fun. We're experimenting with this time around. If you missed the party episode where we're going basically at midnight Eastern every single night, previewing all the games, you can tune in during basically rush hour to hear some in-depth analysis on some of the matchups.
There we go, folks.
Do we have favorite plays?
No, we don't.
No.
Damn it. This episode's 3 hours and 15 minutes in.
McNeese in Oklahoma State for me. Lay the points.
Yeah. I like McNeese and UAB.
Yeah.
All right.
As well.
Let's go. Folks, make sure you give Ryan McIntyre a follow on Twitter at moneyline_Mac. Bieniek's on Twitter. I think at Noah B77, right? Or did I fuck that up?
Correct.
Okay.
You got it good.
I'm on Twitter at @TheColbyD. The College Basketball Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. We're back tomorrow night, folks. Can't wait to watch all these games. All right. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. Till next time. This is the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit the minute that I seen your grill again. It made me good trip, good dog the mind back like dog but wind that. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on fire again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for hope. Just get it straight cause it got me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Yeah.